Dun, 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 dun. Mortal Kombat! Woo! All right. Welcome back to part 4 of our live stream Essen Extravaganza week. It's been really, really crazy. Seeing all the games that I've reviewed, I'm shocked at how I thought I could do like edited long form content. But there are a lot of things going on today. I just want to say thank you again to everyone who's joined the Cardboard East Cult Collection auction on BGG. As you know, I'm moving from Taiwan to America, and I need some help to lighten my load of stuff because containers are expensive. I do want to mention, though, that those of you who have spent who have contributed more to the auction, over $50. I thank you very much. I will include like a handwritten note from me, and I will include like little souvenirs from Taiwan. So Taiwan is known for having a black bear, and what you can see like the black bear in some of my videos and some of my earlier content. So I won't be giving Big Papa Bear away, but I'll be giving away these little black bear magnets as well. So, and they're really cute. I think I'll be giving away 5 of them. If you ever notice a big black bear and some of my older content, he has a little magnet here in his hand, and you could do that. Very cute. But I'll be giving away like 5 of these little bears, and some other things as well. I'll be giving away some of these to some of the people who've joined the auction. This is a board game version of vegetable stock. So instead of vegetable stock with vegetables, it's vegetable stocks with board games, and board games that were at the Taiwan Original Board Game Expo at 2023. So you'll see games from Japan, Thailand, Singapore, and of course Taiwan. I'll also be giving away these, the Taiwan Black Bear punching Winnie the Pooh in the face patch that Taiwanese jet fighter pilots wear on their jackets. My wife picked these up at a defense expo, which is like a board game expo, but with military weaponry. She got a great selfie with a drone. It's pretty cool. But you're here to talk about games. My hair is a little frizzier today than normal, so I do apologize about that. There is an earthquake drill in Taipei right now. You had like drills in high school and like school, and they have drills in the city. There's an earthquake drill in the city right now, and so there's no running water for most of the day. I mean, I was able to make myself a cup of coffee beforehand, and I have some water here for the live stream. But after that, I think I'll just be chilling outside somewhere for the rest of the day. But we're here to talk about games. So we have games from Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and Thailand today. So I'm going to burn through it, and we may or may not have a special surprise for you later on today. So first up on the list is Korea board games. Any guess where they're from? Okay. Korea board games has been going to Essen like every year for like a very, very long time, and they have a very big booth, and they like to tell everyone. Korea Board Games is one of the biggest publishers in Asia. Like there aren't that many publishers that I know that have their own building. Like their own building. Like Korea Board Games has its own building. Okay. So first up on the list is Cookie Box. Now, Cookie Box is an older game, but this is Cookie Box with Pokemon. So obviously it's got to be better. And it comes with a bell. It's a real-time game. Yeah. This is the best way to make your neighbors fall in love with you, because my neighbors have loved me recently. This is a Pokemon ball bell. So if you need that in your life, you could also have it gamified. This game is a real-time game. It's pretty simple. You and a whole bunch of your friends will each get 9 of these little chips here. And these chips, you can see here, Squirtle, there's Pikachu. You have 9 of them. Each side has a different Pokemon. Here's my favorite. And you just put them down here, like in this 9x9 grid, as you can see here on the table, right? They are all double-sided and not the same Pokemon as on the opposite side. So that's something to add a little bit of confusion to and fun to the game. Then you're going to take one of these Pokemon cards, and then you get to flip it over. And when you flip it over, you'll see that the Pokemon are in a particular order, such as that. And then you immediately start going. You want immediately start trying to put it all here. Squirtle, Squirtle, Squirtle. No, chaos. Jigglypuff goes here. Charizard goes here. No, I am not great at this game. I am not good at this game. Oh, okay. I think yes. No. Jigglypuff. Oh no. Where's that? Where are you? Where's that? Okay. Maybe you. No. Yes. No. Oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. No. Oh. Okay, so what happens now is that if I got this right, then I would take this card face down, and that's 1 point. And that would be the first person to 4 points wins the game. If I got it wrong, however, I would take the card face up. And that's fine. You can have one card face up. But if you had two cards face up, then you're out of the game. And there's player elimination here. It's a ruthless Pokemon game. But the game itself is like really short. I would probably say like 15, 20 minutes. So it's nothing that you have to worry about. And if someone gets eliminated from the game, you can just stop the game altogether. These are really good quality chips. They're very reminiscent of like Splendor quality there. As you can see here, they're nice. The pictures and images come out really nice and clean. They feel right, nice and smooth in your hand. And it's Pokemon. So if you are thinking about getting a nice Pokemon game that's fun and fast and the kids can play it, then this is totally up your alley. It only plays up to 4 players. I guess you could solo it. You could say, I'll give myself a minute and see how many of these I could do. And you'll probably memorize the chips and then destroy everyone ever again. And that has been Cookie Box by Korea Board Games. Not the only game on this list with a bell. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit less chaotic and more thinky, then you might be interested in this. This is Mighty. This is a trick-taking game. And Japan is usually known for making some of the best trick-taking games in the industry. But not all trick-taking games come from Japan, and this one comes from Korea. This was a very unique experience opening this up and learning how to play it, because it felt like going through a history book in a fun way, like a nice, calming David Attenborough like documentary. And because when you open this up, you read it. Well, I mean, I didn't read it, but I read the online PDF that has been translated into English. The PDF goes into the history of this. This was invented in the 70s by Korean college students, and they used a normal deck of cards to create this game. And while this also uses a normal deck of cards, they added a few more ticks here and there. So if you notice on the letter cards and the 10, so ace, king, queen, jack, and 10, there's like this nice little pip there beneath the diamond. And in fact, here, I'll show you some. Here, I'll show you a non-one. So here's the 5 of spades there. So you can see like there's this little point there. But you have some nice artwork on the cards. And even the basic like 5 of spades, like there's that dual tone color on the spades. This makes this a really nice deck of cards just to own. The quality is nice linen finish here. Really nice components. There's a board that you use. Really nice thick board. I've been really impressed by this. This is for bids that you use. And they didn't really have to make this as pretty as it is, but they did. The little wooden components here are quite nice as well. They're nice and thick. And they come pre-punched, so you don't have to punch anything. Open it up and you're ready to go. So here you go there. There's nice and thick cardboard. The artwork is pretty nice. This is a reshuffle token. So you have this nice, I guess, dragon word vomit with cards. You also have this, which is quite cool. I'll talk about this in a little bit about why I think it's cool. So you have a friend here token, and then this token with the red arrow is really neat. So if you are not into trick taking games, then this is not for you. But if you are into trick taking games, stick around because this has been a really, really interesting game. I don't know many trick taking games that play really well at 5. There's plenty that play perfectly at 4, and 4 is usually that optimal number. There's a lot that play at 3, and there's a handful that play really, really well at 2. But I don't know many that play like excellently at 5. But this one plays really, really well at 5. How it works is you're going to take the deck of cards and you're going to shuffle it up. And one person is going to have like a starting card, and then they're going to players are going to be making bids. And you make a bid here. Basically, at the end of the game, it's a regular trick-taking game, and the cards that you collect from like the tricks that you win, you'll look at all the cards, and if you have any face cards, so here's some cards here that I can show you. If you have any face cards, you'll see that they have the little dot, and here's the little 6 of diamonds here. As you can see, even the 6 of diamonds looks really nice. If you have any face cards in the cards that you collected, you'll get a point, 1 point for each one of them. And so that's 4 suits, 5 cards. That's 20 possible points that you could win. I've never seen that happen, but it could happen. So on your turn, you're going to be saying like, well, I'm going to be winning. Let's see here. You're going to be doing for the suits, for the strengths, and then you'd be like, oh, I'm going to do 11 in spades, and so it's going to be like, 15 hearts, 15 clubs. And the red arrow is neat because you're going to rotate it so it's facing you. I think that's really interesting. Like that's this nice subtle way to keep the bid, and it's keeping classy, and there's no extra like unnecessary components. Nice and lean design. I really, really like that. And then whoever wins the bid, whoever bids the highest, because you're either going to bid higher or you're going to pass. And whoever wins that bid is just going to say, all right, and then we begin the game. And he needs to come with a friend. So this is a team game. But the interesting thing is that there are different ways that he could choose who his friend is. It could be the person with a particular card. It could be someone who wins the first trick. So when he makes this bid, he's saying that he's going to do it with a friend, or he could do it by himself or herself. And then naturally, you're just going to play cards after that. And then you'll play a series of rounds. And the scoring is really interesting because it depends on who wins. If you're the main leader and you win, if you won by yourself, you'll get a certain amount of points. If you are the friend of the leader, then of the main player, then you'll get a certain amount of points. If you're on the opposite team and you win or lose, then you'll get a certain amount of points. That's the only part of the game that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's really clear in the rulebook. I kind of wish that they did have like a card included with the game that just has like everything that kind of like written down for like the point score. Or they could have had like maybe something on the backside here that just summarizes the score, so I don't have to constantly reference the rule book. But I remember when we did play, we were able to remember, at least one of my friends was like, oh, you get this, you get this, you get this. And this is a game that you can play at home with a deck of cards. And the rules are on BGG, so you can just go there and play with a deck of cards and see if you like it. But this printed version of it is really, really nice. And I think this is a game more towards people who really like spades. If you are more into spades than like other trick takers, like if you're more into euchre, I don't think this would be for you. I think spade players would like this more. But at the same time, you get a really nice quality board, really, really nice quality board. You get some really quality cards, and you get some quality components, and you get a little bit of Korean history. They even include a score pad, so you can write down all your scores. And this rulebook, while this is in Korean, there will be an English one, I believe, at Essen, and there's a PDF online for you. But it's actually, since the 70s, there have been lots of variations in play. And it's really interesting to go through it and be like, okay, there's these variations. I haven't even tried all the variations. But I guess like over the 50 years that this game has been around, fans of it have just added little variations here and there, little tweaks here and there, and maybe different groups like to play it a certain way. And it was very reminiscent to me of mahjong or mahjong, because like mahjong are actually really different. It's very similar to rummy, But when you go to different countries, they all score it differently. Like Taiwanese players, even like north and south of Taiwan, they kind of play a little bit differently. Japan, Korea, they all have a slightly different scoring system. Hong Kong, I think, has the most convoluted scoring system ever. And it's really crazy to look at that scoring book. My mahjong set is from Hong Kong from the 60s, and that rule book was just bewildering for me. All right, and that has been Mighty from Korea Board Games. If you're looking for something for a little bit more strategy and fun and trick taking, yeah, this is one that I think is definitely worth grabbing. I'm not letting this one go. This one's coming with me to the States for sure. I gotta find my trick taking group. That's gotta take some time. All right, Mighty Pokemon. Now we're gonna go to one that's probably the most bizarre game I think I'm going to review for maybe this whole year. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, rock and roll. This is Raon, Raon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I do not speak any Korean at all. I mean, 안녕하세요. I mean, there's some, right? This is Play Korean Board Game with BTS. Yeah. And that's how you write BTS, or in Korean, I presume, or with BTS. Anyway, this is a word game. And I think word games are so fascinating. I love word games in English. Japan has a ton of word games. Taiwan has a few. But I'm always interested in word games from other languages. I always find that really, really interesting because they change depending on how the language is constructed. Korean is a character-based language, and what's more interesting than like what differentiates it from like Chinese and Korea and Thailand is that all the characters are made of specific vowels and consonants and symbols, and those are all consistent. Like they don't change. Like and in Chinese, they will change. So you couldn't play this game with the same mechanics in Chinese. There are 4 different variations of rules in this game, so you can play different types of rules. But I'll just give you a basic idea for it. I'll talk about my negatives in a little bit. But essentially, you have this bag here, and in this bag you'll have 2 types of tiles. You have consonants, which are the squares, and you'll have vowels, which are these long rectangles here. And there are different variations to play. You'll have like a very basic version is you'll have a deck of cards here with BTS, and you'll flip it over, and you might see a word, and you'll see the characters of how they're supposed to look in Korean. You'll see a pronunciation of it, and I'm not exactly sure what it means, but this is a word that you'll see here, and you'll take it. And usually it's more like a speed game where you're trying to use the characters that you have, the vowels that you have, and then you'll use the consonants you have, and you're going to try and make one of the characters, one of the syllables, or all of it in a certain amount of time. And then if you're to be able to do it faster than your opponents, then you score points. And I gotta say that I was an ESL teacher or EFL teacher. ESL is English second language. So if you live in America and English is in your native language, it's your second language. So ESL. I was I think technically an EFL teacher, an English foreign language, which means that you don't live in a native English speaking country and you're learning English. So I was an ESL teacher for over a decade. So I love language games. I find them really, really fascinating. And I learned Chinese in that time. So being bilingual and seeing how Chinese word games operate and English word games operate, I find very, very interesting. K-pop tie-in, I gotta get it. Oh, Brooke, like it's big. If you are really into language games, it's pretty cool. There's really nothing with BTS here except that BTS is labeled on all the cards. So if you own this game, you'll be able to write BTS in very childlike Korean. But it's just a speed game. You're taking vowels which are these blocks, and you're taking the consonants, which are these rectangles, and you're trying to squeeze it all together. Sometimes Korean, they don't call them characters; they call them syllables. I think I've never studied Korean. Have bachim, which is just a consonant on the bottom, and you just have to form these shapes here with the tiles that you have. And there's lots of different ways here. Game of the Year, Spiel des Jahres. I don't know. There are lots of ways to say it, but there's no award that I know in Taiwan. I guess there are a lot of different ways to say, I don't know, 最好,最棒. Hi, Jay and all. Hi, Rob German. But there are a lot of different ways you can play, and the rulebook has 4 versions of it. There's a YouTube video by Korea Board Games that explains how to play all 4 of those, and it does a really good job of it. And there's even a timer for some of the variants. There are tokens that you could use for like wild, and they have BTS on it, which is, I think, hilariously awesome. And you can use the power of BTS as a wild card to substitute any consonant or vowel that you don't have. A few things is that you're supposed to put these tiles like on the table face down, which is fine. Some of them are speed games, so I can understand that if you have easy access. Some of them are turn-based games where you don't have to do that. For those turn-based games, I'm kind of curious why they just didn't have 2 bags. So you have one for the consonants and or one for the consonants and one for the vowels. That would have been easier, I think. I understand bags are pricey, so I've kept mine separated. I kept mine separated here. They have all these cool words here in Korean, and they tell you how to say it. baldogang-sang, sangnamja, haruman, joeo, iburkik. I don't know if I'm saying these correctly, and I don't know what they mean. So I kind of wish that there was a translation to what this word means on this card. I would have loved if they had a little QR code on every card that led to a video of someone saying the characters, or an audio file of someone saying these characters. Oh, I think there's someone at my door. That's weird. I hope it's not a SWAT team. Wait. Okay, that was not for me. Okay, you might have heard some Chinese here. That was not for me. All right, I live in an apartment. Anyway, for language-based games, I would really have loved if they had a translation of this, or if they included like a QR code that led to like some like a YouTube video or just an audio file, so I could just hear what it sounds like, so I can work on my pronunciation. I think that would have been taking the game to this next level and been really, really cool. One thing I'm disappointed about is that they included like this board here. This is really cool. I think this is really cool that they included this. I mean, if you like BTS, here's smooth like butter. But if you want, and it has like all the consonants here and all the vowels and all the bottom down here. That's really cool, man. I like this. But you're supposed to have a pen, and you have to buy the pen. So I'm not a big fan of that decision. Also, none of the games use this board, so I feel kind of saddened by that. This is something that's you use for, I guess, helping you learn the actual language, which is really cool. I kind of wish that this was incorporated into the game itself, into more of the games. So I really like that. I mean, if you were a kid in Korea, like this might be really helpful for you. It could be really fun. I really like language games. If you were learning Korean, this would be a great game. I wish that the Chinese language was constructed in a way that I could have this, have these same kind of mechanics in it, but Chinese is just structured very differently than Korea, so you can't do that. But I was really impressed with the design of this. Your mileage may vary as to whether or not you'll stick around in your collection. If you are learning Korean and you want to be better at Korean, then this is a fun game for you. And then you can create your own characters and play it with other students. So if you are in a Korean class, like this is a phenomenal game. I'm I play a lot of English language games and a lot of like Chinese language games. This is better than a lot of them, I would say. I came in late. Will this be at Essen? Yes, all these games will be at Essen. So Cookie Box will be at Essen. Pokemon Cookie Box will be at Essen. Mighty, which is a trick-taking game from the 70s, made by college students in Korea, will also be at Essen. The components of this are really, really nice. Smooth like butter. Play Korean board games with BTS will also be at Essen. But let's go to, I think, the one that everyone wants to talk about. A lot of people have been telling me that they're really interested in this one, and that's Coffee Rush. And I think out of all the games that I've gotten, Pokemon K-pop, Jay hooked me. Yeah, it's Korean board games is huge, man. Like their booth is always good times. This game, Coffee Rush, has the best insert out of all the games that I have looked at going to Essen. Yeah, period. Hands down. Like all the games, I think I've looked at 50 games going to Essen. This one has the best insert. And it's funny because I showed this to a friend of mine yesterday, and he looked at it, and his first expression was, which is the exact same thing that I said. So I want you all to experience this. Here's Coffee Rush. Looks like this nice game. And you open it up, and you see, okay, here's the rule book. Here's the board. Nice, thick kind of quality, good quality there. And then you lift this up, and here's the rule book, and you say, wow, okay, so it comes with prepackaged inserts, plastic inserts for components here. So nice little component trays, everything's in there. And then you lift this up, and you have player boards here. I'm getting there. And then you have coffee cups. Like, what in the world is going on? You have coffee cups, little coffee cups. And if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, the answer is yes. And that is these little components in these little trays. If I can open it. So here's chocolate. I put it in the cup. Here's caramel. I put it in the cup. And here's some ice. I put it in the cup. And you put these little components in cups. Wow, toy factor. Well done, Korea board games. Well done. Like it's like, whoo, it's really good. I don't have really many complaints about this game. Let's see here. Let's go on about how do you play this game, what this game is about. This is a very light game. This is not the finalized version that's going to go to Essen because it has work in progress here on the back. But you know what's really cool is this. I can do this, and those cups didn't fall down. You see that? Because they snap into the insert. Ah! Anyway, sorry. Just had to get that out of myself. You get this, the quality is really good. Korea board games just almost always knocks it out of the park. They do a very consistent job of it. You get these nice barista meeples. Let's see if I can show them to you here. You get these nice little barista meeples, barista meeples complete with hat and apron. And you're going to put this little board here. And these are the different ingredients that you can have in your drinks. So you have like caramel, steam, coffee. So there's more coffee here. Caramel is a specialty item because there's only one place in this whole board where you can get it. There are tea leaves here, steam, milk. I keep on forgetting if it's milk or cream. And like water. Like water is a very specialty item. Like, I don't know, but it is. So you have tea leaves, water, caramel, and chocolate down here. And then you're going to have like these baristas on the board. And you're going to have these actions to move your component orthogonally. So up, down, left, right. You can move to where someone else is, but you can't stay there. So you have to have enough movement to move past them. And once you make all that movement, everywhere you go, you'll collect these little pieces here. And like, oh man, like this, even like the tea leaves here look really, really nice, right? And you're going to pick these up. Each player will have 3 cups. And when you take these items, you could drop them into the cups in any way that you want to. You can split it up with the cups any way you want. And it's the toy factor is really, really cool here. And the only rule is that once you put it in a cup, you can't take it out. You can empty a cup out and then throw out all those ingredients, but you can't mix and change it up. So once it's in the cup, it's kind of there. And then you're going to let's see here. You'll have your own player board here. And you can see this little player board here. And you see this numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's because you have these little order cards. And these order cards will be here. And you play a round of cards. And if you're able to fulfill it, you take the cup, you put it here, and then you move it over to the side, and then you'll get likes. And you can see here that this girl's giving you a like. And naturally, if you can't complete the card in one round, the card will slide down to the second round, or slide down again, slide down again. And then if it slides down off again, then Bubba here is really unhappy, and he's going to give you a dislike. Back in the day when social media had dislikes. What's really interesting about this is that when you complete an order, everyone else gets more cards. So it ramps up the tension there. And that's really, really fun. I really love the toy factor of this. And that's the whole game for the most part. I think when you also, there are ways that you can unlock special abilities. So you may have noticed like these 4 tiles here. Let's see here. Pierre asks, in terms of gameplay, how would you compare Coffee Rush to the second edition of Chai Garam? Is one better than the other? Ooh, that's a really good question. Let me finish this explaining how to play this one, and I'll go into the comparisons. These are little tiles here, and they'll begin like blocked off, and then you flip them over, and then now you will be able to get more points and special abilities. And like so, and this one is the one that everyone always gets first. This allows your barista meeple to move diagonally on the board. This one allows you to get like twice as many ingredients, and everyone has the same 4. And this game is very, very light. Like I pretty much told you, watch, rinse, repeat. That's the game. Like if you get enough dislikes, your cafe closes because I guess you got canceled. And then whoever has the most points then wins. If you're the first person to get X amount of order cards, then you win. And then you go by points. It's a very, very, very simple game. Like there is not much depth to the strategy in this game. But the toy factor of the cups and how you just move on the board, it's very pleasant and it's really fun. Like even kiddos can play this game. Like kids, this is basic enough that kids can sit down, play the game, and have a good time and make fun decisions. And who doesn't like putting things in these little cups and filling them up? And then it's really, really nice and fun. They knew what the gimmick was in the game with these components. They made sure that the game was designed completely around the gimmick, and the gimmick worked. And they created a little bit of tension here with every time you order cards, other people get more orders. So it really ramps up the tension. Not too much, but as you play the game. There is a little bit of randomness. I mean, there's randomness in every game, but there is some randomness about which orders you get, because if you get big orders, like a lot of big orders in a row, it can be ugly. So if you get a lot of easy orders, it can be quite simple. No chaos cards on the floor. So these are things that you'll have to think about when you play the game. Now, Pierre asked, in terms of gameplay, how would you compare Coffee Rush to the second edition of Chai Garam? Is one better than the other? Well, I have technically never seen the second order of Chai Garam. I've played the second edition rules on the first edition game. I will say that I think Chai Garam mechanically is a lot deeper, obviously. Definitely deeper and more strategic. There are a lot more mechanisms going on in that game, a lot more things there. I think the production value of this is clearly better. Korea Board Games really has funding to produce games very, very well. They did a really good job here. I mean, like, I want to show you these components. These components are great. Like, you have the steam tokens here, the water tokens, the cream, the tea leaves look great. You have like the chocolate and the coffee beans and the caramel. And when you put everything like in here, like it looks really nice. Like when you have everything in the cup, it just looks really, really cool. And it creates this amazing little toy factor and fun thing. Like you could just be collecting cubes and I don't think it would be fun. But because you're collecting these 3D objects and putting them into 3D cups, it immediately becomes like a billion times more fun. So the production value of this is better. It's a lot lighter, and you can play this with kids. Like Chaigaram, you really can't play with kids, I think. Like, I'm sure you can kind of push it that way, but maybe. Like, you can play this with like a 6-year-old. Like a 6-year-old can come down and you can have this for family day. Chaigaram is more for adults to see those patterns. And there's some slight negativity or negative feedback in that. So maybe kids might not resonate with that. There's delayed feedback in Chaigaram for sure. So kids or younger gamers tend to have trouble with that. If there's no immediate feedback, I do this, I get this. Kids typically resonate with that. And there's a lot of fast feedback in this game and delayed feedback in Chaigaram. So this is, I think, more ideal for kids, especially the toy factor, man. I mean, look at those cups. Those cups are amazing. Really, really good stuff here. Let's see here. Oh, I got a message on the phone. Let me double check that. And no, we are. This is me. It's my face. You know my face. You know my face. You know who I am. I'm a person. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. So we are good to go. So we will have a surprise for you later on the show. This has been Coffee Rush. I think this is a really good family game. I think that I played it with my friend and his daughter, and we had a great time. And this is something that I think she would enjoy as well. But this is Coffee Rush. If you're looking for a good family game, then Coffee Rush, I think, is it. I don't know how much kids like playing with coffee, but they love playing with the cups. And then now we're going to have a live action game of cakes. Now, I don't know if you've been watching this on social media, but this is cakes. This is an older game. But look at the insert when you slide it up. Look how cool that is. I love it when publishers add that extra inch of development into games. Really, really cool. This is another game with a bell. So if you needed another game with another bell, this is what my neighbors have not been liking me recently because I have 2 games with bells. So I really hope no one answers the door. One thing that's really weird is like you have this and you're supposed to put this on that. And like, do you really need this? Is that necessary? I don't know. You have these cubes. These cubes are cherries. It doesn't really matter what color of cubes. And you just had it there to be cute. So I'm going to put this off here to the side. And then you have these cards here. And these cards are the bulk of the game. Let's see here if we could do this here. Maybe we could put one here. And I'm just gonna teach you this game. I'm just gonna play the game. You have these are frosting levels of the game. Jay, these are all bangers. How adorable! Yeah, Korea board games really makes games. So look at these frosting levels of this, right? They just look really great. This blue. I look at this and I get hungry. Are those Oreos? Oh man, I want Oreos. Chocolate, white frosting. Wow, these are all just great. Really, really great stuff. And on top of that, you have these cards. So if you're familiar with Rhino Hero or Euro Penguin, then well, you're in Euro for a surprise. So here's how the game works. You take a plate and put it in your hand. You can this be your left hand or right hand. Doesn't matter. I think in some of the videos I saw that they had plate cards. I didn't have any plate cards here. And in the rule book here, you didn't have any plate cards. I don't think plate cards are necessary. Anyways, here, you flip over the first card, and it says, okay, cherry. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this, put it on here, and then you ring the bell. And if you're the first person to do that, well, then you get to keep the card, and this card is worth 1 point. All right, that's fine. Then you flip over the next card, and it is 3 tiers, right? So now you have to do this. You have to do, I'll do this lower. 1, 2 cards. Okay, so that's 1 tier. 2 tiers. 3 tiers. And if I'm the first one to do that, I ring the bell. If I ring the bell, I get the card. If it falls down, that's fine. But you have to remember that collectively, you should all be at 3 tiers. And oh my goodness. And then you flip over another card. And, oh no. No, it's another 3-tier card. Okay. And then you're gonna do this as fast as you can. You're gonna try and get this done. There's a kid variant where you just take this and you don't hold it, you just kind of put it on the table. And so that way you have a little bit more stability. But yeah, you're doing this, and this is, oh my goodness, this is just terrifying. As you can tell, like, this game is quite hilarious. I love the fact that you have to use one hand. I love it when games include or force players to use a hand in the game, because then, like, like social media, no one's touching their smartphone. Everyone's fully engaged into the game. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. And let's pretend it fell. No, no. There's another one here with add a layer and then add a cherry on top. So you put another layer and you put a cube. I put the card down here. Hold on, and eventually you'll play. But eventually you'll get this card. This is the best card in the entire game. You see this little arrow here? Well, depending on how the card lays out. No! Depending on how the card comes out, like this, what you're going to do is you're going to take the cards that you won in one hand while holding this cake, and you're going to switch seats in that direction. And that player is going to go to that chair, that player's going to go to that chair, that player's going to go to this chair. It's hilarious. It's amazing. And this is the game. This is the game. If you are superhuman and you are able to get a 10-tiered cake, you win the game immediately. I say that if it's stable for like a few seconds, like 2-3 seconds, if you're able to do it, usually there won't be people. I've seen one person do it, and maybe your ceilings aren't high enough, but you'll know that they're being stable and get to 10, and you kind of wait to see what everyone else is doing. You just watch and cheer your friend as they get that 10th layer down, because I mean, you have to put the hand down, right, to get that high. Like, you don't think about that. You're like, okay, that's fine, and then you're like, wait, oh. This is a fun game. It's not meant to be serious. It's just meant to be fun and silly. And there are plenty of reasons to have this. Kids can't handle the hand. Like, if you put it in their hand, I found, like, no. I think just putting it on the table is more than enough for them. And then maybe if they want to try it, it's fine. But just remember, it's going to be lots of loud chaos going around. And you just kind of have to get accepted to that. This is the answer. It's great. Once you have these cards, they come straight, but you got to bend them. But once you bend them, they kind of have to take up their own slot here. But yeah, this is a fun game. This is a really fun game. I don't know if this component was absolutely necessary. Like, do you need a frosting thing so everyone knows that that's where you put the bell? I don't know. But I really do think that this is a really fun dexterity game. Not my favorite dexterity game on the planet, but definitely one that I would be more than happy to play again. And this is a game that I think I definitely want to play with drinks, just because I like chaos sometimes. Okay, everyone needs a little bit of chaos in their lives. Okay. I hope my neighbors don't like bang down my door with a chainsaw. All right, and that has been cake with one of the greatest sides. Look at that. That's just so cool. And that has been cake. So cake, great dexterity family game, coffee house, nice gateway game into board games with lots of bling factor. Great for kids, great for getting people into the hobby. You want something a little bit heavier than Mighty is a trick-taking game from the 70s with tons of different variants plays and bidding plays. Nice 2v3 game aspect. There are also variations for 4 and 6 players, if I forgot to mention that. That's a nice little game here. I think this game takes the longest out of all of them. Yeah, this is about 30 minutes, about 30, 40 minutes. Cookie box with a bell and Pokemon and smooth like butter, criminal undercover. And that has been board games with Jay and BTS. So here we are, and we are now leaving Korea on our way to Taiwan. And I'm gonna leave here and get my. Oh my goodness, my hair is just. Oh, I really wanted to like do like something there, but it's okay. It's out there. My wife makes a joke. She like looks at my hair and guesses how humid it's gonna be for the day. She's like, doesn't look like rain. Keep her, I guess. Moving on to Taiwan. Now we have Emperor S4, which is known for Hanamakoji. And they'll be bringing a load of games to Essen this year. Some of these are older games from last year, and some of these are newer games. We want to talk about them in a little bit. This is one from last year. This is World Splitters. This is an auction game. And this auction game is really, really good. It feels like an old aughts game. And you're making biddings, and I did a video review with this last year. If you check out the old Essen video about it, maybe I should put a link in the description down below. If you check out the descriptions, I have the booth numbers for all these publishers. I have, if they have a pre-order page, I made sure to link that there. I chose one of their more active social media pages for you to go and check out what they're doing. And yeah, this game is neat. Like, it's so Instagrammable. Like, all the components are so nice. So it feels like a game from the aughts, but it has the Instagrammability of the 2020s. So you're going to be bidding with these fences, and you have the game comes with like 4 different scenarios, and each one the icons do something slightly different, which makes a lot of replayability. I think you're supposed to play it like this. But I typically just play on the table because it's just a little bit easier to see and a little bit more stable than this. But what you're going to do is you're going to put a fence here, and there are these little fences that come here. And you can put a fence on the map, right? And then now you're going to make a bid on that fence, and people are going to be bidding on that fence. And then if you win that bid, then you can decide to put a person on either side of that fence, which is really neat. If there's an ability there, then you will trigger that ability there. Some of them will allow you to put more fences. Some will allow you to swing more fences. Some will push you up the tiebreaker tree, and ties do happen quite a lot in this game. They all do different things. This is a closed economy, meaning that like there's a fixed number of money in the game. So if there's $10, if I have 3, I know you have 7. And I was really, really impressed by this design. And I think it's a really good auction game. If you're into auction games, then this is something I would definitely recommend. Is that more coffee? Tea? Ooh. But I want coffee. Are you taking away my coffee? I've been banned from coffee. Yay. Okay. I'll down it really quickly. Is that okay? Hold on. Wait. I may have drunk too much beer in high school. All right, here we go. There's World Splitters. Really good auction game. Steve is here. Hey, Steve. What's going on? And then let's go through the rest. World Exchangers happens in the same universe here. This was a draft and write, where you draft cards from different, like you draft different cards, and that'll allow you to go up and down here. And where you draw the line will affect different tokens, will affect the points that you get from the cards that you have, and affect like the different amounts of money that they have in different values. It's a really, really clever design. Romain did this, right? Roman and Smoots. They'll be there. Naturally, everyone knows Hanamakoji. Now, Hanamakoji will be there with Geisha's Road. Will be there at Essen. And yeah, they have this cute little thing here. I believe they might even have the extra box, which comes with the boxes here, and you can fold it out. This will be there. They'll also have the expansions. Now, they have a second version of the expansions. And if you see here, yeah, I have all my expansions here. There are 7 expansions. And each expansion comes with 8 tiles, as you can see here, 4 for each player. And what they're going to be doing at Essen this year is they'll be selling all the expansions in one bundle. And before, they came in like this little its own little envelope that you had to buy. And so what they did is they changed this into cards. So each expansion now is 2 cards. And then now you have the actions on there, and then they give you 8 tokens that you could use for all 7 expansions. So it's a little bit cheaper for them and cheaper for you. So you can take these and put them on here to show which action that you're taking. Your opponent has their own card, and they have their own tokens that they can put on there. So they have, I think that should be 14 cards and 8 tokens, as opposed to 32 tokens. So it's a little bit cheaper for everyone. And you guys can pick up all the expansions there and try them out. I think Hanamachoji is a 10, but with the expansions, it's an 11 because the expansions change the I Cup you choose actions that you have. Maybe it's like 2 or 3. Maybe you tuck a card in the bottom of the deck and you draw another one. A lot of cool things a lot of interesting ideas that made Hanamakoji feel even more fresh and fun to explore. Now, those expansions you could use can also be used for Geisha's Road. Oh, one cool thing about Hanamakoji that I forgot is that you have the Geisha cards, and I'm sure everyone has seen the Geisha cards, right? And they have promos. They have a promo cards, and they will be selling all the promo cards at Essen, and in one little bundle. So you pick one envelope, and then you get all the promo cards there. So that's really, really nice. So if you want to pick up the expansions for Hanamakoji, you want to pick up the like all the promo cards, so you have just different looking geishas, just something simple and different. Then you could do that as well. All right, moving on. Let's keep on going here. World Splitters, the auction game, Hanamakoji. Then you have Geisha's Road. Geisha's Road, I think came last year, but this is the first year where they'll have it there, and you could buy it and sell it and get the upgraded components there. Yes. I'd really like them both about equally. I think I lean a little bit more towards Hanamakoji. Geisha's Road just has a few more mechanics. So if you feel that Hanamakoji was a little bit too light for you and you wanted like a nice element and set collection element on top of that, then Geisha's Road adds that extra level of complexity. Then moving on. Now these are the 2 Geisha games, right? You have Hanamakoji and you have Geisha's Road. This is actually part 1. This is part 3. But I think most people didn't know that Shadows in Kyoto was actually part 2. And this is where is a good game for dates. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel weird. Like I never played games on dates. I was afraid that would scare them away, even though like they come here and they're like, oh, I walked into a board game shop. Anyway, so here's the sequel, Shadows of Kyoto, and now the geishas are spies. And this is like one of those movement games. Let's see here, where you're going to have your geishas here, and your goal is to get them to this end zone here. If you're able to do that, you win. If some of your geishas will have hidden information, some of them will be dummies. Let's see here. Right? But if your opponent captures like 2 specific geishas, then it's game over for you. Now, some people didn't like the meeples because due to manufacturing or nicks of the wood, it might be obvious after a few plays. So Emperor S4 went above and beyond and made these super, super nice, like metal ones here. Really, really nice. And then if you flip them over, you can see their value. Here. Kind of. The light is very reflexive. I apologize for that. What's really neat is that this came with 2 sets of stickers because, I mean, the number isn't printed onto the statue. And I love the weight of these. These add a nice weight to the board. And you're going to play cards, and the cards are going to allow the geishas to move in certain ways, to certain colors. There's special effects and things like that. So there's a nice little fun back and forth. This comes in its own box. I got rid of the box and put it in this box, but it comes with 2 sets of stickers. And I think that was really, really nice of them. So that way, if something happens to one of the stickers here, you could replace it. This comes also with one of these, so you can put them back in there, which I'm going to do now. and do that. So you can have the Geisha Trilogy, if that's what it's called. I do think Shadows of Kyoto is a good game. I don't think it's as good as Geisha's Road or as good as Hanamakoji. But I think it's, if you want to complete the trilogy, you can. And then you can do it with style with those metal components. Walking in Burano is one of my favorite games. And I rank this in the top 20 games of all time from Taiwan. If you look at the how to play video, you might notice my hands because I did that like 5 years ago. But this is Walking in Burano. This is a card drafting game where you'll be drafting cards from the center, and you're trying to build these houses here. So you're trying to build an all pink house, an all blue house, an all green house, and it's a lot of fun. Like I have found myself gravitating back to this more and more over the years, and it's just really, really nice to do that. In addition to that, like as you're drafting these things here, and each card will have different things on it. Like they may have curtains, they might have windows, there might be cats. Let's see if I can show you some here. And there might be different things on there. There might be lanterns, things like that. So here you see like there's a cat hanging on a lantern. There's a little moon there for our colorblind gamers. Like the different types of flowers, lamps, open windows, closed windows. So you see there's red flowers and green flowers and different cats. And the reason why you have different things, also on the ground floor as well, like there are different people, there's different kinds of shops that you have. There's even different curtains that are there. There are cats, there are also more plants. There's a lot of variety there. And the reason why you have all those things there is because there are also people, there are also tourists, and tourists will help you score. And you're going to take the tourist and you can put it on the bottom of the building. And each tourist does something different. So you have like tourists that may give you points for different types of flowers, or different ones for different types of cats, or cats, lanterns, and different things. You might have the mayor who will give you points for how many people are on the street. You might have Santa who's going to give you points for having chimneys on the rooftops. And there are all these different ones that you can have. So as you're building up your tableau of buildings, you're also trying to get these tourists so that way you can score them. And I find that really, really fun. One of the cool things about the game is that you get these little scaffolding cards here. Because you're building these and drafting these cards, it's hard to get the card where you want. So for added flexibility, they have these little scaffolding cards here. So like you could add these. So this is like a temporary ground floor. This could be a temporary second floor. So you could build like the third floor here. Now you only get two. So if you happen to do that, then you'll lock these cards in. But these cards allow you to get some extra flexibility, and then you can replace it with the new card, and then you can have that flexibility somewhere else. I really like how beautiful this looks when you fill it up. It definitely has this feeling of being in Burano. I remember when this came out that year, Empress 4 team, they went to Burano, and they tried really hard to find this exact spot. And because this was just from the artist's imagination, and they were able to eventually find a spot that looks very, very similar to this, and they have a picture of it somewhere on the internet. But this is a really good game. One of the best games from their collection, from their library. But this year, they've released Walking to Burano, Roll and Write. Now, a lot of people ask me, like, what are the difference between these two games? And well, one's obviously a roll and write. But, did I include? Yes, I included that. Let's see here. Oh, but this one has like these little dice. And let me try if I can break this down abstractly enough for you. And they have like these cool little 3D components. These are already pre-made in the box. And they're the insert. Like, I think that's so clever, right? Like that. Right? It comes like that. And then you can put this on top. So clever, right? So what's going to happen here is, remember the cards that I showed you? Like here, you're building the building. You're getting the cards here, and you're getting like, okay, flowers here, maybe some windows here, and you're putting these all, trying to get this in order. Like the numbers of curtains are here are fixed to the card, and you're trying to arrange it by color. Here, the building's already built. The only thing that you're fighting over are the numbers, right? So how many flowers are here? How many cats are here? 0, 1, 2. So all the buildings are already built. And I mean, you don't have that element to the game, but the randomness that you're fighting for are the numbers, like how many cats are here, how many chimneys are here, things like that. And then you're also getting the tourists to score points for all of it. You're going to go each turn, and you're going to try and send one of your boats to pick one of the die. If you happen to go to the same one as someone else, then you get a coin. So there's not that much interaction here. I feel that there's more blocking or obstruction for players in Walking in Burano. So if you want something a little bit lighter, a little bit more breezy, more of the knitting circle feeling, where, how did my wife say it? She said she likes knitting circle games or multiplayer solitaire games because her week, her day is really hard, and she just wants to sit down with her own little puzzle and have fun. She doesn't want someone to come in and like knock everything over. So she liked this version of it, where she's just kind of doing her own thing, and I'm not messing with her at all, and she's happy as a clam solving this puzzle. I kind of lean towards this because I like a little bit more interaction in my games. I think they're both solid games. I will kind of lean a little bit more towards Walking in Burano, but I definitely go to the booth, sit down, and play this because I think both of these are killer games. But I do think I want to spend more time talking about this game. This is Shadow House Masquerade. This is a new game from Emperor S4. Well, but not a new game. This is a few years old. This game is, I think, originally Japanese, and then it got picked up in Taiwan, sold a lot of copies here in Taiwan. It got picked up in China and in Hong Kong, sold many copies there. Altogether, it's sold, I was told it was like 390,000 copies of this game has been sold around Asia. It has a different cover to it. But they had to say 300,000 copies on the back of the box, but honestly, it's like 390,000. It's like just at that cusp. Eros was very honest. He's like, well, I don't want to do 400. I don't want 400K on the box. So it'd be more impressive, but I want to be more conservative because I don't want to lie. So major props for him there. This is a social deduction game. And this is a social deduction game like Vita Moore's, where you're not yelling and arguing. It's a game where you deduce who's who by the actions that they play. Just like Love Letter in a way. So you have a deck of cards, and these cards, let's see here. This can play from, this version can play 3 to 8. And depending, like on the number of players, they have this nice little grid here to show you how to comprise the deck. And it's pretty clear here. But let's see here. The culprit is the main one, the accomplice is the main one, and the detective. So on your turn, you're going to have 4 cards. So you basically, at the beginning of the game, you're going to have 4 cards in your hand, and that's it. And then on your turn, you're just going to play a card. That's all you do. A lot of these cards have different abilities. The main thing is that if you are the culprit, which is the guy with the hat and the mastermind, if you have the culprit and you play this card last, and this is the last card in your hand, then you win the game. Boop. Smooth like butter. You cannot play this or discard this card until it's the last card in your hand. Now, there are cards that allow you to have this card in your hand and move it to someone else's hand. So now you know that they're the culprit. Great game tension there. There's also the accomplice. And if played, you become the accomplice and can only earn as many points as the culprit. And you can ask another player to discard a card and draw another card from the deck. So there's an accomplice card, which means that you can't win unless the culprit wins. But if the culprit wins, then you get the same amount of points. And so this is one of those games where if the culprit wins, then they get a certain amount of points. If someone else doesn't, if the detective wins, if he gets a certain amount of points, if someone else wins, they get a certain amount of points. And it's all here in the rule book. It's not too difficult. And then you play a certain number of rounds, and after a certain number of rounds, after 2 rounds, I believe, then that's whoever has the most points wins. And the detective is supposed to do it. And if you can identify the culprit by just going and saying, "Are you the culprit?" Then you win. Now, this is a game where you can't lie, though. There are there's a card in here called, I think, the alibi. Yeah, alibi. If you have the alibi in your hand, you can always lie and say, "I'm not the culprit." So like, there's a little bit of truth telling there, and it's really interesting to see. And there are all these different things here. Like the sheriff has like these little handcuff tokens that he can put on someone. There are cards that allow you to switch with other people. There are a lot of cards that allow you to switch cards with other people. Let you look at someone else's hand, and switch a card. Look at their hand. If they have card X, then you can switch with card Y. There's a lot of little things that are going on here. And what's really fun is that it's just a game that you have to understand by looking at how everyone's playing and how everyone's reacting and their facial expressions. And sometimes it's really obvious when someone's the culprit, and sometimes it's not. And I think that when you play the game and you realize like I'm the culprit, and you slam your hands on tables, like, I knew it was you. I knew it was you. I said it was you. And there, you could also talk in this game if you really, really want to. I think it's better when you don't. But this is a game that sold 390,000 copies to date, and it's been around for a couple of years, and it's sold only in Asia. This is the first time it's been translated into English. Now, there are been so many social deduction games that come out since then, but I think if you want to see a classic game from Asia, if you want to see a classic social deduction game from Asia, then I think you should really take a look at Shadow House Masquerade and see what Asia's been up to with these. And I think it's really, really solid. And it's just a nice deck of cards, a rule book, and some components here. But if you are really into social deduction games, I think this is one that you should definitely check out. And it plays 3 to 8 and only like 30, 15, 20 minutes. It's a nice, quick filler game. And it's definitely one that I would recommend. And a part of Asian board game history. Wow, this hair is just out of control, man. Out of control. All right, moving on. So we did We did Korea board games. We did Emperor S4 games. So we went to Korea, we went to Taiwan, and now we're on our way to Singapore. Here is Origame. Origame will be at Essen. I put their booth number down below. I think to date, I have played every single game from Origame, and this is my favorite of theirs. If you like Cascadia, I like this more. I like this a lot more than Cascadia. This has a card drafting mechanism where you are drafting cards, and it's interesting how you draft cards because you have there are quite a lot of components in here. You have this little wheel here. If you can see this here, everyone is a different fruit. So you might be a banana, you might be the dragon fruit. Everyone is a different fruit. And what you're going to do is you're going to rotate that, and you'll decide who gets which cards. I think that's really, really interesting there because you're kind of forcing the draft of other players. And then there are 4 spots to this spot here, and there are going to be 4 spots. So they're going to be 2 land, 1 land and token, 1 land and token, and 2 tokens. So depending on what you want. Now, the land cards are going to be like these little terrain cards that you're going to build out. Let's see here if we could find some here. Yes. And oh, man, that has hand-drawn art on this. I love it. I love it. I think it looks really, really neat. Right? That hand-drawn art there. And there's different types of terrain. Like there's even a forest terrain here. So you can see here. And you're going to take these cards and you're going to build like a terrain with them. So you might do, let's say, like something like this. And you can overlap the cards if you want to. You just can't tuck the cards. And you can put them right next to each other as well. So you're going to place these down and you can create like these little environments. Is that the right word I'm using? Environments? There's another word. I can't think of it right now. But you're going to try to increase the environment. So you want your ocean to be really big. You want like your little yellow forest to be really big. You want your green forest to be really big. But at the same time, you also need to populate that with flora and fauna. And it's separated into 1, 2s, and 3s. So like the sea area has like these level 1s. There's a level 1 here. And you see there's a level 2 fish. And there's a level 1 green, and you can see the level 2 green there. And you're going to take those and you're going to put them on here. And then eventually you'll also have threes. And these are threes here, right? You have like a 3 green, 3 yellow, and the dolphin is for the 3 blue. And how it works is that you have like a level 1 and you need a level 2. The level 2 needs to have a level 1 so they can eat it. If there's no level 1, then it's going to die. And naturally, you need a level 3 to eat the level 2, and the level 2 is going to be 1. The tokens are not going to disappear when I say eat. It just needs to sustain so you have a stable ecosystem. Ecosystem, that's the word. So, for example, if I have like 2 2s and 1 1, then one of those 2s is going to die because it's not stable, right? There's not enough 1s to feed all the 2s. So if there are not enough 2s to feed all the 3s, then those 3s are going to die. So I really like that you have to create this sustainability within each ecosystem that you have. Each one, and you might have like multiple ocean ecosystems, you might have multiple forest ecosystems, and you have to balance that out. And you do that by either expanding the land, so you have more land to do, but then you need to populate it with flora and fauna. And you do that because you have these little gold cards here that do different things. Exactly, 2 herbivores that you're trying to compete in time. You play this after a certain amount of rounds, and whoever has the most points wins. Naturally, when you draft these cards, you can't place the tokens willy-nilly because no, that's too easy. You'll be drafting cards like this for the tokens, and maybe you can try to arrange it in a way so that the forest and the otter can fit. The otter's like a wild, but so you have like a level 3 green and then like a level 2 yellow, and you have to rotate this on the cards that you have to try to drop them into place. Really, really clever design. I really like the puzzle-y nature of this. I have mixed feelings about the gold cards because the gold cards are worth so many points that if you do not get the gold cards, you will lose badly. But it gives directions to players. So if they don't know what to do, it gives them something to do and focus on. I like kind of just creating your own, just having it nice and peaceful. There's no pressure for the goals. But I like this game. This is a really, really good game. I like it more than Cascadia. Yeah, I said that. So I think if you had to get one game from Origame, I would recommend Rainforest City. I don't know how many copies of Rainforest City they're bringing to Essen, unfortunately. My next favorite game is the Walk and Roll series. Walk and Roll is a roll and write series. And this one became famous because it comes with a walk, right? There's a walk here. And when you roll the dice, it's obnoxiously loud. Oh, yeah. And if you could see from the screen that some of these dice are red and some of them are white. And the reason why that is because if you're the active player, the player whose turn it is rolling the dice, then only you get red. Everyone else gets the white dice and just the white dice, but you get red and white. So it creates this nice tension of I'll typically go for meats for this and then vegetables for this. And you have people chanting for different ingredients that they want. This is a very combo-y roll and write. If you roll and writes with combos, so you're trying to fill up this beautiful menu here. Don't be deceived by this very plain looking box. They did this because Chinese restaurants have that nice plain look to them. And I really like that aesthetic. But when you open it up, whoa, it's just super, super colorful. So you're trying to get these certain combinations to get these dish. If you complete this, you get X amount of points. If you go down here, if you get this row, you get X amount of points. If you get 2 adjacent ones, you get special abilities. You have little books here that unlock special abilities, so that way you help mitigate your die rolls and control them. You have extra ingredients here to do that. This is just the entry mode. If you like this, then you could try the combo-tastic advanced mode, which gives you more crazy combinations. Things are locked. You have to unlock it. You even have a little house specialty here, which if you have, and these are randomized throughout the game, and if you get this, if you get this one, if you create this dish, then you get even more points. There's even this an expansion here, or this little thing here where you have your own name of a restaurant, and then you begin with a special ability, so everyone plays slightly differently. So that's also a lot of fun way to do. And this, I think, was a solid game. it was a solid game for like solo play and for co-op competitive play. But then Daryl Chow was like, you know what? There's some problems with this game that after I've played it for a number of times, now I created an expansion, and he created this expansion, which is the Korean Wave. So this is a Chinese restaurant. A Korean Wave is a Korean restaurant. And then here you go. And now you have pictures of the dishes that you're making, and you also have kimchi as a special ingredient, a special resource that allows things. And you have the same kind of thing, like you have a round tracker here. This one didn't have a round tracker, so now you have a round tracker here to help you keep track of the rounds. You have a space here for your great puntastic name that you're gonna do, like walk and stop and walk and go. Like you have a little thing here for your points. You get points here to fill it up. You get this, you fill it up. You get all these little things here to do combinations, so you can trigger. And just like the previous one, this is the basic mode. And if you want something a little bit more combo-tastic, you go for the advanced mode, which has a tech tree that you can develop technologies and special unique player powers to let you do more things. Very, very, very cool. Once you play the Korean Wave, I don't think you ever go back to the base game, because I think that Daryl Chow listened to the feedback of people who played the game, listened to all the reviewers and influencers who talked about the game, and then he just changed it up completely for Korea and made that. And yeah, I think that's fantastic that he did that. I love it when publishers do that. So if you're looking for a roll and write with a lot of like Asian theme and food, Walk and Roll is a great find. But if you pick it up, you really got to pick up the Korean Wave with it. This plays from 1 to 5. There we go. But the new game from Origame is a game called Buffet Boss, and I don't have a copy here, but it's like this giant, beautiful meatball stacking game. But unlike a lot of others, like the meatballs are textured and painted, so it just really, really pops and has amazing table presence. I played that game this past weekend, and let's see if I could find the picture here. I think I did okay. I was mostly full. I wasn't full, but I was mostly full. And that's a game term. Here, yeah, so I can show you here. Like, that's what the game looks like. The wooden components, there's a nice chunky wooden component. Really, really nice. I've asked him if he's ever seen someone get to boss, and he's like, yeah, someone's been boss. I was just full. I wasn't very full. I was almost very full. And like, if you look closely at these components, it's really funny. Like the blue bottom is the plate. You have the banana, you have the broccoli, the gingerbread man, the crab, but the egg there, the egg sucks. It just sucks. Sometimes you flip over cards for like what ingredient do you have to put on, and you get 2 eggs, and you just hear this hush over the table. People are just going, ooh, it's not going to be good. But Buffet Boss is a great game for kids, great games for the family. And if you like dexterity games like that, then that's going to be one that I think I would strongly recommend. Tea time. But the one is Oh My Orchids. Now, Vita Morse won the UKGE award for the best strategic card game for this year. And this was also nominated. And both of these are great games. I think this is a great game. I don't really feel like it's a card game, though. I don't know, like social deduction and card games, I feel like it just transcends cards and becomes social deductions, and that happens to use cards. So I think that this is actually, I would say, the strategic game of the year, because it has cards. It's just cards. Like the only component in the game is cards. Like there are no tokens. It's just cards. And so to me, like this is a card game. This should be a strategic card game. Anyway, this plays very similarly to, I guess, like Splendor, right? Like you have resources that you're getting. Actually, no. A little bit differently. I did like an unboxing video. I have some cool shorts that I've done. But on your turn, you're going to be grabbing seeds. And there are the different colored seeds here. And if I believe here on the box, no, there are different colors of seeds. I can put here. Yeah. So the seed cards kind of look like that. So on your turn, you're going to be doing things. You get seeds or you plant a flower. If you get seeds, you're going to get all the same number, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or you get all the same color. Like I get all the blue. All the seeds come in like 4 different suits, and each suit has 4 different numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So once you get the cards, and you can overdraft. I think your hand limit, I believe, is 7. So if you overdraft cards, and for each card over, you leave it face down in front of you, and that'll be worth negative points at the end of the game. But sometimes you want to do that because once you have all those seeds, you got to plant a flower or basically buy a flower card. And there's 2 types of flowers. You have like the basic reds and the high price purples, the orchids. Because it says, oh my, orchids. These are worth little points here. And the iconography is pretty simple. So like 3 seeds of the same color, right? And the iconography is pretty neat here. Like this is 3 cards of different seed. And you could plant these. If you have enough seeds to buy multiple cards, you can buy multiple cards. And you'll notice up here that this is how many the cards are worth at the end of the game. And you can buy these pretty quickly. One of the strategies is to buy these lower priced cards like very, very quickly and try to end the game and rush the game before anyone else has a chance to get their engine started. Or you can go for the big gun route and get like these big orchids. And these are all flowers that are actually native to Singapore, which I think is so cool. They have like the white scorpion orchid here. And you can see here that's 6 cards of the exact same seed count, worth 8 points at the end of the game. And you have the big one here. This is Vanda Miss Joachim or Joachim, I think is this Singaporean say. And you need to have 4 cards, each one with a different seed or different number and a different color. That's not the easiest thing to get, but if you do it, you can get this, and it's 10 points. And that's name of that is Vanda Miss Joachim. And that's why on the side of the box, they have this very fantastic thing here. Vandas never cease. Yeah, Buffet Boss, Brooks says, Buffet Boss looks really good. I want to mention that the quality of the components for a Buffet Boss is the real big selling point, right? Like there are a lot of games with meeples that stack, but I think they spent the extra money to paint the wooden components. And these wooden components are nice and thick, like really thick and chunky pieces. And when you actually painted the wooden components, it makes the game really, really pop on the table. It makes a big difference. I think the publisher told me that it was an extra cost for them, but they did it anyway to see what it looked like. And once they saw it, it's like, yes, you have to do it, because if we didn't have it, it's just a night and day difference. So these are, and this is the game. That's pretty much it. And it plays 2 to 3. There's also an additional scoring to where if you have flowers that have different names, like different kinds of flowers, the more you have, the more different points you get. I have a playthrough of this and a teach and play where I played my wife, actually. And I think this is a very clever little card game. When you play with like 2, 3, 4 players, it can play tens, and you can see it's really open. It plays at 5. I don't like to play it at 5. I think 4 is where I draw the line. But when you play like a 2, 3, or 4 player game, everything's open knowledge, so you can see where everyone is going to. And when you're reading what other your opponents are doing, you kind of lean this way, and you think, okay, he's going to try to go for that card. Can I cut him off? I think I can. And it's really, really clever. And I was really impressed with this one, and that's Oh My Orchids. But I still like Rainforest City more. I'm sorry, Daryl. Now, moving on, we did Korea. The Korea board games. Like a nice trick-taking game. You have the Pokemon bell. You have building cakes with a bell. You have the coffee house game with the cool cups. You have the BTS Smooth Like Butter word game. Move to Taiwan, Emperor S4. You have a great little auction game here with World Splitters. Great small box collection here. You have a very classic social deduction game from Asia. Like if you go to Asia and you go to game shops and people who play games, they may not know the English name of this, but they've probably heard of this game and they've played it. Walking to Burano, Walking to Burano, Rolling Right. So you have the Geisha Trilogy. here, and that we're doing now. We went to Singapore with Origame, with some really cool roll and rights. They have the Rainforest City, which is, I think, a Cascadia killer. I like this a lot more than Cascadia. You have Oh My Orchids, a great strategic card game. And now we go to another publisher in Singapore, staying in Singapore. And this is Good Spirit Games. I don't know if Jeffrey likes to drink whiskey, but here it is. He has this game here, Nightmares of Sushi. Look how adorable that is. And then he has this social deduction game, Contraband Insider. And I'm going to open up these games really quickly here. This is his first game and his first design. This one's pretty clever. I kind of wish that the components were a little bit better, but each player, this is all about political corruption. There's like a lot of games here about political corruption this year, but yeah, I kind of like it. You have different parts here. You have illegal goods, wild trade life, illegal drugs, counterfeit goods, biological organs. You know, this is the underbelly of the world, right? And you are these contraband sellers, and this is you. This is what you have. And this is your main here. These are the actions that you can take in your turn. This is your main warehouse here at your home. Now, in addition to that, there are these. Here they are. Now there are different public locations throughout the city, and I believe there's 6, 7, 8. That's right. I knew there was 8. There's one here. So here they are. Not too cleverly done, like casino. And then once you inspect it, it's crossed over here, like police over here. And how this game works, I think is really neat. You have the little cards here, and let's see here. So here are the counterfeit goods, right? And each of, I guess, the gangs of the smugglers will have these 3 cards: 1, 2, and 3. And naturally, there are 1, 2, and 3 points. So like the green has those cards, the blue has those cards, the red has those cards. But you also get a handful of these nothing cards. So all these cards are the exact same. They're all these little nothing cards. And then you're going to take turns. You have all these locations placed out here. And you're going to take turns playing your cards out. So you'll have, let's see here, 9. So you have 6 of these cards here. And then 3 of your actual cards. And then don't forget that you also have your own little warehouse. So that's 8 plus 1 is 9. And then you're going to take those face down at the beginning of the game, and you're going to place them out on all these things. And only you know where you're hiding your counterfeit goods. No one else does. And if you forget, you can't check. So that's your fault. Then once everyone's done that, everyone's goods are hidden around and placed. And then you have 1 here. Then on your turn, you have 3 actions that you can do. The first thing that you could do is you can say, I want to raid a public location. And you can't pick which public location. All the other players will take their meeples, and then they'll put them here. So the players choose where you go, and they don't have to. They can vote. Like they don't all have to go to the same place. So like let's say the other players only choose like the pawn shop and the hotel. So now I have to choose between those 2, or maybe they spread out the bar, pawn shop, and hotel. So I have to choose one of these 3. I can't look at these. And then I take all these cards. I reveal them all and place them off to the side. If I found any counterfeit goods, any smuggled goods, any contraband, then I place it off to the side, and those players don't score those points for that round. And once I explore 1, I flip it over here. The second thing you could do is you could raid someone's home. Now, raiding someone's home is a little bit risky. If you do that, then you'll get this. Like you got, hey, that contraband becomes funding for you, and you get, let's see here, you get like this little token here that shows that you get 2 points at the end of the game. If you don't, then you get if you raid someone's home and there aren't counterfeit goods there, you get this, which means it's negative points at the end of the game. So there's a little bit of bluffing involved in there. And then the last thing you could do is you can get this assistance cards here, and that's what this board comes in. And these assistant cards all do different things. If you can see them here, these are the assistant cards, and there's some English text there. They all do different things. Like they allow you to maybe look at 2 locations and take 1 card each and swap them, or maybe look at them. You could swap cards around. You could look at someone else's goods. There are lots of things. You could place a token somewhere that says that you can't raid this location for a turn. You can give someone like a medal, say, hey, you're an upstanding citizen. And if they have no counterfeit goods here, then you get a point at the end of the round. And then at the end of the round, when you keep playing until all the public locations except for 1 have been flipped over and searched. Once that happens, then the round ends, and then you count up the points, and whoever has the most points gets first place, second place, and third place for the first round. Then you play another round, and then you play the last round. And then whoever has the most points wins. When I first heard this described, I was like, okay, I don't see this too exciting. But then there was this meta game that I failed to see, and it became really, really clever of how you kind of want to hide things in your base. You're talking, you're trying to tell people to search one other place there. Sometimes I would tell people to search the place where I knew my 3 was, thinking that I was lying to them and they would tear it off. Like there's a lot of like little subtext here in the gameplay that I found really, really clever, especially for a first-time design. There's also, if you want to take this game to another level, though, you got to play with a double agent variant, which is really, you have like these regular criminals. You have this double agent. And what he's trying to do is he is trying to make sure that all his contraband is caught. So you want to make sure that people catch all your contraband. No one catches it. And then you get 4 points at the end of the game, which is a good amount in this game. Let's see here. You can also have the doggy. And if you're the doggy, best card in the game. If you're the doggy, then you're trying to find out who the rat is. And if you can guess right, then you'll get 2 points. What's really funny, though, is if there's also the rat. And the rat is trying to get, let's see what it is. 1 point for the minus round, 2 points for the round. Yeah. You're trying to convince people that you're the double agent. Really clever stuff here. This is a really clever design. I really liked it a lot. I didn't think it's worth trying out. And go to Good Spirits, go there and say hi to Jeff. Tell him you said hi. This plays in about 45 minutes. I think it plays better, naturally better at the higher player counts. But if this is a little too intense for you, then I think Nightmares of Sushi is super adorable. Look at that. Look at that. It's so cute. All right. Let's see here. This is okay. If any of you been to Singapore, if you go to Singapore, they speak predominantly like 2 languages. They speak Singaporean English. So they might not say the, they might say them. Like it's just slight subtle changes in the accent, like Australia and the UK. But they all speak Chinese. A lot of people there speak Chinese. And he has this card in the game. I haven't played with this expansion, but here's an expansion to the game. Can I show this? I don't know if I can show this. Here you go. There's that card. You read that right. And it's, when I saw that, it's really funny. You might think that is really disturbing, but this is actually really funny because in Chinese, anus is pronounced P-N, which literally translates to butt and eye. The eye of your butt. Like that's just how it literally translates in Chinese. P-N. And so he has this card here as a joke to that. Anyway. I saw that and I immediately laughed. Let's see here. Here we go. This is a really interesting game because you can either win the game by having the most points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points, right? That's normal. Or if you get 10 negative points, if you get 10 negative points before the end of the game, you win immediately. So you could just like shoot the moon and force yourself to lose. The first time I played, I got all the way to 9 points. I almost got to 10. It was really, really close. And if you get 10 points, that supersedes everything else. So in the final round, if like someone had like 1 million points, when you had -10, you still win. I really like that dynamic of the gameplay. More tea. I love the artwork for this game. You're going to be Team Sushi. You could be either Team Tuna. Moguro is tuna. You could be Team Ika, which is squid. Ika is squid. You could be Team Tamago. Tamago is egg. If you can make tamago, man, it's an amazing breakfast. It takes a lot of eggs though, but I took some time to do it. Really good stuff. Hirami is flounder. And then Saba is mackerel. I mean, I'm a salmon guy. That's just me. That's what I do. So this is me. Now, everyone has the same exact cards. And let's see here. Yeah, everyone has the same exact 5 cards. And this is what they are. Let me show you what they are. They are cards here. And you're going to be placing these cards out. You're going to burn one card. You choose, and that's going to be face down. That's going to be out of your hand. And then the game is going to be 4 rounds. You're going to play 4 cards. And as you play them out, you're going to place them up here. And eventually people can see only the last card you played. So there's a little bit of fuzziness there, so people can't exactly remember. But you're going to be placing these cards down. And then people are going to be choosing where they're going to eat. They're going to eat your card. You can eat someone else's sushi that's marked down. Or you can eat Spritz. What are these Spritz? Oh, yeah. There's Spritz. Spitz the dog. He's a special chef. Or you can eat Spitz's sushi. And you don't know. So it could be, you can eat Spitz's sushi. You can eat someone else's sushi. If no one eats your sushi, you got to eat it. So just keep that in mind as you're playing the game. And each of the cards are different things. So like, let's see here. So you have grade A sushi, which is really good sushi. So if someone eats it, they're going to like it. Consequently, you also have grade F sushi, which is really bad sushi. Gives you, you got to visit the bathroom afterwards. You have grade B sushi. Grade A, grade B. Grade B sushi is just okay. It's just okay. Grade C sushi is like home cooked sushi, like only you can appreciate it. So that means that if someone eats it, they get no points. But if you eat it, then you get 1 point. Grade D is more like, okay, that's pretty bad. And yeah, you can see the toilet paper there. Really cute, really clever. And you have grade F, which is just, Montezuma's Revenge. But that could be its own game right there. But the main twist of the game is that you have these little cards here. And everyone has the same cards. Let's see here. And let's see if I can separate these out for you. Soy. And yeah, the artwork for this is so cute. So well done. Everyone has the same cards. So there's a lot of card counting in this game. Let's see here. So you have the soy sauce card. Where's the sauce? When you play your cards, you're going to play one of these cards face down, and you're going to play one of these cards face down on it. You can play them both at the same time. If let's see here, and we'll talk about these. Yeah, where's the sauce? If you're the only one to play the soy sauce card, then you get 2 additional points. If you're the only one to play the ninjutsu card, I believe you get you choose one. Yeah, you choose one player for the ninjutsu. Yeah, there's a ninjutsu chin dog. You choose another player to receive 1 penalty point if you're the only player to play this card. Let's see here, and then there's the fortune cat. And you can convert 1 negative point to 1 positive point for each player that played this card. So let's say like you have like 5 negative points, and then you're the only one. Then maybe everyone plays this, and you convert those into positive points for a nice big swing if you can time it right. And I've seen people do it, and it's really frustrating. You have swelling tongue, which can eat gold points and convert them into negative points. So I was able to do this. I was able to get fortunate cat and get a lot of points, and then I was able to convert that all the next round into smelling tongue and just get a ton of negative points. That's how I got to 9. It was so close, so close. And the last one is wasabi. Let me if I can get that there for you. There we come on auto read. There you go. Wasabi. And it even has the wasabi face. I guess we could tell that Jeffrey's old. Sorry, Jeffrey. Points earned while eating a player special sushi chef will be doubled. So you could just double up your points, even the negative points. So you got to be careful there. And that's kind of the game. It's very simple, very straightforward, and it's a lot of fun. But the twist of the game that I really, really like are the negative points. I really like that you could just kind of like just bomb the game and win. I really like that spin to it. Oh, okay. So I've never played this yet, but let's see. The butt eye variant is everyone gets one of these cards. When you eat during the eat sushi phase, you can spend this card and remove it from the game, and then you can either look at all the sushi cards from a player's discard pile, or you can look at a player's face down ability card. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And it's a one shot off, and that's nice. I'm gonna I'll definitely play with this one from now on. In fact, let's just get rid of that and just toss it in there. Rock and roll. And that is Nightmares of Sushi. Really cute, really clever card game from Singapore. Look at that artwork. Oh, I love that artwork. Moving on. Okay, let's see here. We are now going to Thailand. And we are almost on our way to Thailand. Let me double check something really quickly here. And here we go. The last one here. This comes from Wisebox Games. If you were lucky to discover Wisebox Games a few years ago, they actually had an Airbnb back in the day. And they would have 2 floors. So you had a game shop on one floor and then the Airbnb on the second floor. Really cool. A friend of mine was going to Thailand and he asked me, hey, do you know any publishers? And I go, oh, not only do I know a publisher, they run like an Airbnb board game cafe. And then next door was like a foot massage place. And he's like, what? Seriously? I'm like, yeah, let me hook you up. And he had a great time. So this is Wisebox, and they're going to have quite a few games out there. But I wanted to showcase these two. Thailand, like Hong Kong and China, really, really love social deduction games. Like if you think you like social deduction games, you don't. You don't even come close to Thailand and Hong Kong because man, oh man, they love it there. And like even in Taiwan itself, in Taipei, there are a lot of people who really like social deduction, like a lot. Let's talk about Dying Message first. This is the game that they're going to be pushing here. This is a social deduction game. I had one of the most horrific experiences playing this game. This is a very typical social deduction game where like it's another open your eyes, close your eyes games, and there's talking and banter going back and forth. So you have the killer. This game plays from 4 to 30. Let's just sit on that for a second. 4 to 30. And I asked him, I asked the publisher, like, why do you ever have games that go up to 30? Like, do you want games that go up to 30? And he's like, oh yeah, like there sometimes like you have like 12 people who want to all play the same game and we're all there. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, and then they have like the killer, and you're trying to find who the killer is, and the killer every round is killing someone. Very, very similar. You've seen like that before. This is interesting though, because like when you have those higher player counts, you could have potentially 2 killers, and more people are dying off. In addition to the killers, you have like killer assistants, right? And each killer assistant does something different, right? And the cool thing is that the killer doesn't know who the killer assistant is, and the killer assistant isn't 100% sure who the killer is, but they kind of help each other out with that vote. And that I'll get back to that about why that's super, super cool. They have and then you naturally have different characters. So like when one of these characters gets killed, like something will happen. Like the Muay Thai person will attack the killer, and then that'll trigger something. There's there's a civilian here, and she just kind of doesn't have as an exciting role. You have like the garbage man, who does a specific thing. The twist for this game is this, and I think this is so cool. And this is why the game is called Dying Message. Every round, you're gonna have 9 of these cards here, and these are like 9 little evidence cards, and these could range from like like a light bulb or to a CD, a blood splatter, the shape of a letter. It could be like the shape like of a Y, or a letter here. There could be like a calculator. There could be a mop. There's a lighter. So what's gonna happen is, oh my gosh, I didn't show you the best card. The best card in this game is the dog. The dog is by far the best card in this game. I love the dog. Anyway, the dog is so cool. How it works is it's very simple. Everyone close your eyes, and you have to put a hand out on the table. And everyone close your eyes. The killer opens their eyes, and the killer is going to hit your hand and essentially kill you. And when that happens, you just say, "Oh no, I'm dead," and you open your eyes. Everyone still has their eyes closed, and then you are going to look at the table, and you're going to look at these 9 items that are here on the board. Let me see if I can spread these out, because I think this is really, really clever. You spread these things here, and you're going to choose one of these things that's going to identify who. It's your dying message. Like you're trying to tell them who the killer is. Right, so like maybe like I had an iPhone, like an iWatch on, and so or like Knock had Sunset had the iWatch on, so I chose this to show that. No, that's what it was. Yes, sorry, I was killed, and I chose one item in particular to say like, hey, this is Sunset. Sunset killed me, and then the killer is going to take 2 items, and then put them next to it to kind of fuzzy it up a bit. And he chose this because I was wearing like an iWatch. Or like, no, I didn't get killed. Someone else got killed. And he put that there to say that, look, it's the iPhone watch. Jay's wearing the smartwatch. It must be him. Man, he's tricky, that guy. So anyway, oh gosh, I'm getting mixed up and the story's getting convoluted. Give me a second. Okay. Everyone close your eyes. The killer opens their eyes. The killer kills someone whose hand is there. And you say, "Oh no, I'm dead." And you open your eyes. You look at all the stuff that's on the table. You pick something that's going to identify the killer. And then the killer's going to take 2 things and put them there. And then now everyone's going to look at that and debate who the killer is. And they're going to talk and vote. And eventually they're going to point at someone. And then that person's going to reveal if they're the killer or not. Very simple. Right? And then if you're dead, you get to look at the next cards and try to arrange and help and pick things from the deck to help people choose, to help identify who the killer is. And you could talk about that. You could talk about the cards that weren't picked versus the cards that were picked. It's really clever. I'm not the biggest fan of social deduction games, but when social deduction games are done right, meaning that they give the player something to focus on. Like this, like the dying message. It gives the player something to focus on. It creates those opportunities for people to speak. Because without it, it's just like this free-for-all of talking, and it's not as fun. But when there are specific things for players to focus on, like the bicycle helmet, or like this, or like, oh man, like the game we play is like, oh look, there's an H. He used an H on here. Like your name is Howard. It must be you. Like little things like that was just really, really fun and exciting. The best character though in this game, the best thing of this game is, oh my goodness, is the dog. The dog is by far the best, because the dog, if you don't want someone to die, the dog can put their hand over your hand to protect you. I think that's so cute. And then the dog could die. I didn't mean to laugh at that. Wow, that's a little dark. And actually, you have a detective, right? And the goal is to get the detective to correctly identify who the killer is. And the detective knows which one of these 3 clues is correct and which 2 are false. And you're trying to slowly deduce that. And I remember like one game we played, it got down to the detective, it got down to the killer, and it got to the killer assistant. And I am the killer there. And it got, let's see, yeah. It was the killer. Oh gosh, I forget. I was a killer, and the detective just says like, "Look, like he's a killer. Just vote for him, and he's dead." And then we went together. She's like that's a detective. I'm the killer. I'm the killer. That's a detective. Let's just vote together and kill him, and then we both win the game. And I was like, wait, I'm the killer. And then they voted, and I was a killer, and the detective won. Brilliant, really brilliant, very clever move there. I think I got that story correct. Wrong? I don't know. But yeah, that's this. Thailand, like Wise Games, they really focus on social deduction games, and they do a really clever way of doing it. Like they have like these subtle little twists to the format, and you don't think that would be enough, but it is enough, and it is enough to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more focused. I think they do a really good job of that. The fact that this is plays up to 30 is kind of nuts. I think that's really really bizarre. But let's talk about their other game, which I'm not 100% sure is coming, but it might, called Moody Bear. And Moody Bear, do not be deceived by this artwork. This game is very, very, very frustrating. Let's see if I can get it all out here. All right. Now, let's say we're playing a 5-player game because it's just the easiest way for me to teach this game. So 2 players are going to be Team Fire. It looks like the Will Ferrell movie. 2 players are going to be Team Ice. Right? And 1 player is going to be the Darkness. And if you are like Team Fire or Team Ice, you're basically trying to do the same thing. You're trying to get these crystals. You're trying to get enough crystals and just end the game. If you are the Dark Knight, which is this one, you're gonna get closer. I can do it. I can do it. If you are the Dark Knight, your goal is to make sure the deck runs out and you have the Dark Swallow card comes. When this comes, it's like the nothing from Never Ending Story just comes, wipes everything out, and everyone's dead. And then you win because you brought up the end of the world. That card isn't a game ender, though, because there is... where are we here? Yes, I believe it's the Mace of Light. You could have this card, and you could throw this card out of the game, and then this gets shuffled back into the deck, and then the deck gets restacked, and then the timer happens again. But the deck is constantly going to be thinning. And all the other cards in here, like the fire team is trying to find 3 fire crystals, the ice team is trying to find 3 ice crystals, and the rest is just this noise of chaos, of like looking at cards, switching cards, thinking cards doing this, doing that, and you're rearranging the cards, trying to get more information. You're attacking people to get have them to reveal cards, and doing all that. And you're slowly, the noise here is slowly dwindling down, and then you're going to try and slowly, eventually find like what the crystals are, and trying to deduce who your partner is, because you have no idea who's who. And the whole time you're wondering, like, are you going to end the game? Are you the one who's trying to bring about the end of the world? And you're like, look, I used the Mace of Light. I saved us from the end of the world. Obviously, I'm not the bad guy. And you're trying to hold on to your own gems and trying to hold on to your opponent's gems, but you can't hold on to all of them all the time because people start slowly deducing who has it. And then sometimes you're thinking, okay, you're my guy. I'm fire. Are you fire? It's like, yeah, I'm fire. Look, I'm ice. Let's work together. And it's really, really clever because when you're trying to figure out who your opponent is, you're trying to figure out who your teammate is. And the whole time you're trying to both avoid the ultimate chaos end of the world. As this deck gets lower and lower and thinner and thinner and thinner, it's a lot of fun. Like this is a really, really, really clever social deduction game. I mean, but like your mileage may vary with the bears. I mean, like the artwork is very, very cute, but I'm going to say like your mileage may vary with the bears here. But the artwork is very, very clever. Oh, I think I got a message here. Let me double check. And that is this. I had a special surprise. But it seems that my special surprise is running late by about 15 minutes. So right now, if any of you have any questions about any of these games, please comment below. Let me know. And we could talk about it while we're waiting for our special surprise to arrive. I do also want to mention that some of the big board game news today has been that Yokohama is getting reprinted. So one of the greatest games to ever come out of Japan is getting reprinted. And there are a lot of people talking about they don't like the font, they don't like the artwork, they're wondering like the TMG Deluxified edition looks really, really nice. Will this new version have equally good quality components? Probably not, because that edition was really, really expensive. Are they going to change the art? Like how much of it is going to change? And what is it going to look like? Are they going to change any of the mechanics at all? I'll be very surprised if they did. Japanese publishers are notorious for not allowing distributors to change mechanics to the games at all. Love Yokohama. I love it too. It's so good. I like Yokohama. I do play by, I don't know if you know who John Gets Games is, but like John from John Gets Games, he has a light variant of Yokohama that he put up on BGG where he does like if you play at smaller player counts, like at 2 or 3, then you use fewer locations than was initially suggested by the original design to make the game a little bit tighter. And I like that variant. I really like having the board be a little bit tighter there. I really, really like that. And I play with that when I play the game. But I do want to mention some more things here while we are waiting. Yes, I play G&T games. Ooh, look at that. Love this game. But here we go. Yeah, so Yokohama is being reprinted. If you don't know about this game, I don't know where you've been. Like this is easily heard the Yoko variant games are good too. Yeah, they are. They are all good games. I still think this one is the best, to be 100% honest and fair. This is an amazing game. My version is damaged. This is the Deluxified edition of Yokohama, which was done by TMG, and TMG is no longer around. But this game is very, very clever. The special guest should arrive in 15 minutes. I hope Matt Damon gets here on time. Board Game Hubby asks, if you're doing a short break, would you be able to do a quick overview of games you talked about and which ones, if any, are on your top 10 shortlist for this year? Yeah, absolutely, Board Game Hubby. I just wanted to mention really quickly that Yokohama is coming out next year. So if you're into Asian board games, that Yokohama is something that I would definitely strongly recommend to you. Yeah, rest in peace, TMG. Like this version is really, really nice. So the question that everyone's asking is like, is the new version going to have equally good quality components, or is artwork going to change? I don't know. Like this is so good. Like I think that you could get this and you're still going to get quality. It's going to be a worthwhile investment. I just really like Tuluba. It happens to be there. Iki, I don't know if you know Iki. This is the 2015 version of Iki. Iki got picked up by a French publisher known as Sorry, We're French. And they came out with an expansion for their version. This is the original 2015 version. This, I think, is one of the best games to ever come out of Japan. So I do want to mention that this version, is very hard to find. Iki is available at Essen. You go to the Sorry, We're French's booth, and they also have the expansion for it. If you just like games from Asia, Iki is easily one of the best games to ever come from Asia. I think I like the original artwork more. I understand that Yuko-e style art, which was the prevalent art style of this time, may not be everyone's taste in 2023. But I think the art style makes this game feel otherworldly. And if you ever find an older copy of it, you should definitely hunt it down and look for it. But yeah, let's talk about some of the games Board Game Hubby asked me about. From this list of games, like, wow, I don't know. Like, it's hard because I kind of lean towards like heavier games. So like fun, ridiculously fun games like Cookie Box or like Cakes are things that I don't like naturally gravitate to. Um, I find myself really intrigued by like Shadow House Masquerade just because it's just Asian board game history. Like there was a time where like this just sold like hotcakes and was played everywhere. I'm kind of curious why this was brought back after so many years, but it's a nice simple card game that's a nice, really interesting old school like social deduction game that I think is worth playing. Walking to Burano is one of the best games to ever come out of Asia, and one of the best games to ever come out of Taiwan. Hanamakoji, if you've never picked that up, is a great game. I recommend picking up the expansions for it because the new way they have their advantages is quite cheap, and picking up the promos while you're at it there, because why not? Even though the promos don't really do anything, it's just nice. Rainforest City, I really, really, really love this game. I can't express that enough. Like I just really love the puzzling nature of this. This is heavier than most of the games here, but like I played Cascadia after I played this, and I thought, I actually like this more. And Cascadia won the Spiel des Jahres, and I'm like, okay, well, it deserved it. It's a good game, really good production quality. But I just really like Rainforest City the most. I really like this. There aren't many trick-taking games coming to Essen because they usually come out for Game Market. But like, if you're looking for a nice trick-taking game, if you have a nice trick-taking group, this one is a really fun one. A really, really solid trick-taking game. And there aren't many trick-taking games that play well at 5, like this one does. It plays really, really well at 5. That we talked about, man, like, you know what, like Korea board games like this with the cups is just so great. Like I was just so mind blown when I first saw this for the first time. I was just really, really shocked. Like this right here. Oh no. But like these cups are so great. The game is very, very light. It's not too difficult to play. But the game factor, the toy factor of this, of just having like these cute cups and you're putting things into the cups to fill the orders, is just fun and pleasant. And it's quite enjoyable. Let's see. Ooh, I love Hanamakoji. It's in my top 10 of all time. I was hoping they have expansion this year. They do. They have all the expansions, and you can pick it up, and it's quite cheap. They remanufactured the expansions to be a little bit cheaper. So instead of tiles, they made them cards and made set tiles for all the expansions that you could use. So you could pick up all the expansions in one go at a cheaper price and have fun with it. Yeah, so definitely I would strongly recommend picking up the expansions because it turns a game that's already a 10 and makes it an 11. And there aren't many expansions to do that. This is the Kosu dice. This is coming to Essen, and it's being reprinted. A lot of people think that this is one of the best trick-taking games that's ever been made, myself included. Naveen from Before You Play, Monique and Naveen. Like Naveen traveled across the Pacific Ocean to Japan to visit, Japan with his wife Monique. Really, really cool couple there. But he went there to find a copy of this. He didn't find this exact copy because this is the original version of it, but he got the new one from like Endgames, and that's the one that's going to be reprinted and available at Essen. So if you've been wanting the Kosu dice for a long time, I strongly recommend you run to the booth and pick it up because it'll most likely disappear. And so like this, like Iki is also one of those games that's coming out, and then. This one over here, so many games, right? This one is Paichen Xiaozhan. I always think of the Chinese name, and then the first initial English name was Townsfolk Wanted, and then now they changed it to Explorers of Mavoria. Not a good switch. I think Townsfolk Wanted is punchier. This is a great game. Yes, it looks like Root. It's hard to not say that because it does look very reminiscent of it. But this is a really a nice gateway plus no gateway game for worker placement and card drafting. And there is a slight twist that I haven't seen before. So you put tokens out to, and then you draft cards, and then in reverse turn order you put these discs back and to get the resources. And it's really clever. And the artwork on this is extraordinary, just really beautiful. So if you want to bring someone and lure them into board games and to show them this is what board games can be, like this is a great one to show and like show people like what modern mechanics kind of look like. And there's a novel twist here that's still very approachable for them that they can easily grok on the first time they play. Board Game Hubby says, I own and love Nokosu Dice. I believe they are only bringing 200 copies and 50 people already signed up for the USA muling list. So if you're interested, you should be running there first. Yeah, you got to run. Nokosu Dice is going to go fast, I think. And if there's only 200 and then 50 are already gone, that's only 150. That'll probably be gone on day one. I'll be surprised if they have any left on day two. This is one of the best gateway games. This is probably one of my go-to gateway games now. Really, really solid stuff. This is one that might fly under the radar, but Infiltrators, I think, is a really, really clever cooperative social deduction game. Like it's really, really clever and really clever design. I was really blown away by this. If you look it up, be careful how you spell Infiltrators because it's traitor, infiltrators. Just be careful with how you search it. But man, this is a really good game. I was really, really impressed by this. And the fact that they had 20 missions, actually 23 missions, like the first 3 are training missions. They had 20 missions that you could play and continue to play, and then you could jump. Makes this just even infinitely better. And the fact that each mission comes with like a little story to progress the story with, like the original crew. Amazing. I mean, your mileage may vary with the gun component in here, and by gun component I mean like a gun component like this. Your mileage may vary from this about how you feel about firearms, and I completely understand and respect that. But the game itself is still really, really good, and all the artwork, even the gun, it's not superfluous. It fits like this noirish theme. Really well done. Board Game Hubby says, random question that I wouldn't imagine you have the answer for. I was really hoping that Korea board games would bring Expedition this year, but apparently they aren't despite high demand. Would you happen to have a guess as to why, or know if there are plans for English versions outside of Korea? Okay, so if you don't know what Expedition is, it's I have not played it yet, but I've seen other people play it, and it looks amazing. And I would love to get my hands on a copy itself. I believe it's like a bag building, like map exploring game. It is not going to Essen. And I think it's because they don't have an English version of the game yet. Why it's going or not going, I'm not entirely sure. Korea board games could think that the artwork isn't Western enough. And what I mean by that is like when you look at like I would say Korea board games is the publisher in Asia that's most attuned to what the Western market likes. Followed by number 2 by like Mandu Games. And like you could just see like Pokemon, like the IP itself can sell games, right? Like this, how this is designed, how this is structured, how it's presented, like how lean that design is very approachable, and like how the insert just kind of opens up and makes cakes. Like this is a very Instagrammable, very memorable game. Like with the content that people create playing this with them holding the cakes is really, really cool to look at, visually stunning and amazing. Like this one, like this, if you look at this game, like this could be a game from like a North American publisher or European publisher, like just by the artwork alone, right? And the mechanics and the components just make the game really, really pop, like with those plastic cups, right? And this one is I think mostly targeted to Korea, and they just brought it because it's in the BTS aspect of it, right? But if you look at like these 3 games, like this is a clear sign to show you, like, you know, Korea board games like knows how to make games look appealing to the Western market. And like if you look at Expeditions, I think the artwork's cool and neat, but I think Korea board games, if I had to guess, like they're interested in bringing that game over, but they probably want to redo all the artwork and redo like maybe the UI of the cards and redo how the board looks, and then bring it to Essen. I think that's what they would be doing. And to be honest, like if I were Korea board games, I would probably do the exact same thing. And artwork on that scale is time consuming, so you definitely need time to dial all that in to make sure the UI still works with the new art. So there's a lot that goes into the development of that, and I think we could see Expeditions maybe next year or the year afterwards, hopefully, because I definitely think I've been told that it's good, more than good enough to go to and penetrate the Western market successfully. Does that answer your question, Board Game Hubby? If anyone else has other things that they would say, and then please let me know. Thanks. Most of all, I was hoping it was eventually come to Essen. I think it'll come to Essen. I don't think there's anything to worry about. I'm going to put some of these games back and drink some water because, whew, Papa needs some tea. I also want to thank everyone for joining the Cardboard East Called collection auction on BGG. There are a lot of them. I have been really floored, and I just can't thank you enough. There are so many people who are bidding on the games, and I'm just shocked and blown away by like how certain games are just really, really exploding. And I am incredibly grateful. I can't thank you enough. The one that I think is getting the most attention is probably this one. This is my wife's favorite game, Nikumi Onsen Katakuki. This is a very difficult game to find. Like it's very, very difficult. You can probably find the first one, Nikumi Onsen Hajoki, because there are more copies of that out in the world. But this I think is currently going up for like 150, and I'm so shocked, and I'm very incredibly grateful for it. I can't thank you all enough. Just to show this to people who are also interested in bidding it, the game came with this cat meeple here. But I will upgrade it for free to maybe a Siamese cat mini here. And here's the Siamese cat mini. And the best part about this is that. I love Asia. But if you don't want the Siamese cat, we have a nice little white cat here with pink ears. Your bow tie. You're so cute. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And look, their heads move. Boop. Ah, adorable. And yes, in case you were wondering, he's a boy. I'm off to bed. Thanks for another great stream. No problem, Brooke. Great that you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking around and being there tomorrow, because I'm going to do. And our special guest is here. A special guest is here. So we have our cats. I'll probably let you choose which one that you want if you win this copy of the game. And I'll put this away back up here. And we have our special guest. Our special guest finally arrived. He was running a little bit late, but our special guest is here, slowly making their way up the stairs. I live on the 4th floor, and there is no elevator. So every day is leg day when I go outside. And I am going to slowly get everything ready for them. And everything prepared for them. So we're going to move all these boxes. Oh, I'll be nice and share this with you a little bit. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit here. And then you can see here all the games here. Like a lot of these games are going to Essen, and a lot of them I just have to reorganize So it's going to be really busy. Eric's got to go lightning fast. So here we are. I'm going to make some space here. Ooh. Everything here is a little bit chaotic. Don't know what's going to happen here. I feel like I'm playing the cake game, but with board games. Like it's just I'm slowly stacking mountains and mountains of games here. Like I don't know how structurally sound all of this is. Like you can see here all those games here. It's just I don't know if that's going to be possible. So if you ask me, like, Jay, why are you getting rid of so many games? Like, well, I mean, when you get a lot of review copies of games, you get a lot of review copies of games, and so it's kind of hard to just keep track of everything, and like games just disappear. But we have a special guest for you today. Everyone, put your hands for Matt Damon. No, sorry, I can't afford Matt Damon, and he doesn't return my emails. But we have come on.
Yeah.
We have Lenny from Wonderful World Board Games. Say hello,
Hello
Lenny.
guys. I'm Lenny from Wonderful World Board Games.
Lenny is here with us, and we're gonna play some of his games here. We're gonna play rock paper scissors together. We'll probably play touch it together.
Touch it again.
And then and he's going to be also here to talk about Loco Momo as well as Animals Gathering and his booth. His booth will be at
2D 102.
I was thinking about
I still have 2 weeks to remember this.
2 weeks. 2D 102.
Yeah, 2D 102.
Animals Gathering. I already did a teach and play of, and I did a review of. And if you didn't know, that Animals Gathering is designed by Dugu Wei. He also designed Yin Yang, which is over here, as you can see here, right next to his head. So like Dugu Wei, like not only designs big, heavy games, but he also designs like fun, approachable family games. So we're gonna begin with. You want to begin right after the game?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a game of Touch It really quickly.
Oh, another competition, huh?
Okay. There are currently 3 versions of Touch It. Do you want us to tell us a little bit about the 3 different versions?
Oh yeah. So we have like the Japanese version, and then all of them like they have like sake, sushi inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have like animal version, and then also the Chinese New Year versions. Unfortunately, we don't have the Chinese New Year anymore. So this time we will only bring like the Japanese and animals version. Also, since we are going to Essen, which is part of the place in Germany,
Yeah.
I have to mention about this game is going to be licensed by who?
By who?
HUCH.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were asking me.
I never know how to pronounce the publisher.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows it. And then also from Italia, from France.
In France. Oh,
yeah,
very
so
cool.
they're going to make their own version,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm pretty sure it will release at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Jimmy Kimmel. Yes, I like the Matt Damon joke was from Jimmy Kimmel. Yes. This is Touch It, and if you haven't played Touch It before, it's very simple. On one side of the card, you have this. I remember when I first learned this game, Lenny was like, "Oh, this is a new game. I'll teach you in 10 seconds." I was like, "You gotta show me that. Like, I don't believe that for a nanosecond." Let's see if I can move this a little more over to there, so that way we're kind of centered.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. All right. Good.
To be fair, right?
So you're gonna see this. And then you're gonna put your hand behind it, and then you're gonna slowly touch here. Now, if you can see the card here a little bit, like it's a little bit raised there. So there's a little bit of texture there to the card. And so then you're gonna look at it, touch it, and then try to decide what it is. And then you have to be the first person to do it. If you're the first person to do it, you get
2 points.
2 points.
Yes.
And then everyone else gets
1 point.
1 point if they do. They won't.
If they fail, they get nothing. Yeah.
They get nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so should we do it like this? And then we're on. Okay, we'll do it. I know what we'll do. We'll do.
We have to cover.
We have to cover.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to cover up. We have to cover up. There's got to be enough games here to cover things up.
I mean, I can do it with my icon.
No. We have to. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I have the John Han rule book, and I'm putting it over the laptop
Nice.
so we can't see. And then now we will just. Oh wait, the cards are. The cards are this way. So we'll shuffle them around. So now that you've had thousands of copies out there in the world, have people told you that there are problems with shuffling and like scuffing the bottom, or has that never been an issue? I remember someone asked me about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I never hear about it, but
okay,
good to know. We will try to figure out things.
well, I mean, someone said like, "Is that a problem?" I'm like, I don't think that's a problem. I've played this game like several dozens of times, and I've never had that experience. Okay, are you ready?
All right. So are we going to do like 7 points win the game, or you just do like 3 cards?
We'll do 3 cards.
3 cards, and who get the most win.
Yeah, I'll
give you 1 second.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Ready? We'll hold the corner.
All right.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Ready?
Saki.
I think it's the drum.
The drum.
Nice, right? Oh, are you going to say ready, or are you going to just name?
I was going to name it. I'll say okay. Well,
right,
that's a practice round. That's a practice round.
Yeah,
That's a practice round.
All right. So we just name it.
Name it.
So you will know which is.
Okay, ready? I'll be honest.
Okay.
I saw through the card from the light, so I'm gonna put my hand here.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a fan.
It's a van.
It's a drum. Is it a drum? It's a drum. Okay, so you got that right. That's 2 points. So I'll give you 2 cards here for your points, and I get 1 card here.
Okay.
And now we're gonna move on to this, and
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's a socket.
No,
I'm
right. It's a bamboo.
Yes. Whoa.
Bamboo. Is that Tokyo Tower?
I thought it's part of something. Yeah, Tokyo Tower.
Tokyo Tower. Oh, look at that. 3 to 2, buddy. 3 to 2. Can they see the cards here? Let's move the cards closer so they can see. 3 cards. 3 cards here. Moving down.
The last one, right?
Yeah, last one.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's
a machine. No, it's ramen.
I got it.
You got it. And you won 4 to 3. And we're clap your hands.
Sorry.
Yeah. I just it's okay. It's my going away gift.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, and we are here, and that was touch it.
That's pretty much.
And you can play this with what 6 people?
Yeah.
Have you tried doing it with more?
We last time in Top TLB
Mhm.
we tried like 7 or 8 people. It's
fun.
kind of mess around, but it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you get past 6, it could be a little bit.
It's hard to track about who's the best one.
Who's the
who's the
fastest one.
second one? Yeah.
All right, and that is Touch It. They have a Japanese themed one, and they'll have the children's themed one. The children's one is actually harder because you see like I guess like eyes and fishes and like,
you see like animals.
You expect to feel like scales and stuff, but it's just the outline of the animal. And this one is a little bit easier.
Yep.
And you said this one is your favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's your favorite. Okay.
I love sushi.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see here. I think we're about even there. Let's maybe we could turn it some more, and I'll tighten it up. There we go. And then, can I get my hat? My hat. My hair is just out of control today.
I thought wearing hair will help you win again.
Is it distracting to you? Is that it? No, I want. There you go. I am from Texas, and so someone from Taiwan went to Texas. And they go, "Oh, Jay, you're from Texas," and they got me a Dallas Cowboys hat. I'm not a big Dallas Cowboys fan, but I don't know. I'm not a baseball cap person. Like I've never growing up. Is that? I look weird.
You look fine. You look sharp.
You're being nice. I don't think I'm a good baseball cap kind of person. I'll be the.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Right.
We're gonna do it.
There we go.
Are you ready? I think we're gonna keep it here so everyone can see.
Right?
Yeah, that'll be good. Do you have a preference for orange or blue?
I will go for orange.
Okay. And then let's
Team
do
orange.
Team orange. I'm gonna help set up
Everything
the game.
Yes. Let me
Get the blue here.
All the advanced tokens.
Tokens are here.
Some of them.
Yeah, they're over here, and we're good to go. All right. So now we will. Are you gonna play by my variant?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's do that here. And we turn these all face down. My variant guarantees that all three crowns are there. So that way there's a little bit more, I think there's a little bit more tension in here. Do I just look at these and make sure they open it up?
No, that should be.
Okay, that's fine. And then now they're here somewhere. Maybe that ruins the math.
Nothing should be.
You think it should be fine?
It
Okay.
should be fine.
No crowns yet. We have 2 rulers up. Oh, one crown.
One
Round
crown,
4 has a
yeah.
crown. Round 5 has a crown. Glue gun. So we have glue gun, tape, 2 rulers,
Maybe one more.
and maybe one more. Okay. Did I miss one here?
You missed one over there, or maybe we missed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll just do this one.
There we go. Oh, +2 at the
And the
end.
+2 at the end. So +2 points at the end. So I don't know if you could see this.
What's
very
your best
clearly here.
strategy? What's your best strategy for this game?
I'm a natural born winner.
Okay.
I go into games with no strategy.
Okay.
I'm
Okay. That's
absolute
good.
chaos here. Well, right now I'm going for crowns because
Oh,
it's just
I
right
have the
there.
same strategy. I'm joking. Let's
Okay.
see.
So how do you want to do this? You want to do
Yeah, you want to do rock paper scissors or rock paper scissors shoot?
I mean, like, we'll just do the Taiwanese way, the Jandao Shou Bu.
Or you want to do the stand up way?
Jandao.
No,
No, I
we're not
don't.
gonna do that.
There's enough room here.
Yeah,
There's a really cute way I've seen, like Taiwanese kids. What they'll do is they'll use their feet when they do paper rock scissors, and they'll jump. They'll do this 1, 2, 3, and if they land with their feet like this, that means paper. If they land with their feet like this, it means scissors. And if they land together, it means rock or stone.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I grew up in America and we say rock, paper, scissors. But in Chinese, it's scissors, stone,
paper.
just because it sounds better in Chinese.
Yeah.
That
Or
was,
maybe
really, that
it
was
just-
really hard for me to translate that time. I'm so used to saying it.
Scissors, stone, paper.
Okay, so we jiandao shito,
Okay, let's go.
and then boo, we land on
Boo,
boo.
okay.
Right? So jiandao is like scissors.
Yeah.
Shito is rock, and then boo is like paper.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
You ready?
Or cloth. Really.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
剪刀石头布 Easy.
All right, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'll get the space.
You get the space,
Yeah.
and then
So
I will.
put, these two on
I will get the unknown. The unknown is a ruler.
Ruler.
Oh,
I
which
will
works
get
really well. You don't get this.
I will get it.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. The
All
winner always get 2, and then the loser only get 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
well then that kind of changes everything about this game.
All right,
fine.
You ready?
剪刀石头布。剪刀石头布. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you change that the second time, right?
So I'm going to. That's a tough call. Yeah, I'm going to go for the space. You got to give me the ruler because you're a nice guy. Because that might be a tape.
I'll get this. Yeah, I'll get this.
And what is it? Are you? Oh,
+2.
it's a +2.
Nice.
So that's 3 points to my 2 points.
Yes.
It's okay.
All right.
剪刀石头布。剪刀石头布. Yes.
No.
I actually have a strategy. And I'm not telling him about it. I'm going to take the ruler because that'll push me up to 5 points.
Okay. I'll take this.
You take the space, and then
Yeah,
I get
you
that.
take the-
Oh, and I get a +2.
Oh.
7 points for me.
All right.
And then we go
That could be a
fighting for
serious
the crown. I actually have a strategy. I'm not going to tell him about it.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
剪刀石头
布。剪刀石头布. Yes. We are the champions.
Hey, you never know the other one.
I take the crown. I take the crown. It's a crown, right? It could be a crown.
I know.
It could be a crown.
Come on. Nah,
That's a 1 out of 11.
I will take the space.
You take the space?
I'll take the space.
And I get a crown.
Oh my god! How's that possible? The chance, man.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not worried. I'm not
so now
worried.
the game all rests on this next one here. And I told you, I warned you, it could be the crown. It was like 1 in an 11 shot. And
well, I'm willing to take the risk.
okay, I need some power.
You need some power.
I need some power tea. Some power tea to help me out here. I don't know. Hold on. Karate Kid moment.
All right, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready.
Ready?
剪刀石头布
Boom!
No!
Yes!
Why?
Yes!
I don't get it. I don't get
This
it.
is how we do it, baby. This is how we
Okay.
do it, baby.
I don't read your mind, man.
I don't know how I. Okay, so one of the things I did was from that study in China.
Yeah.
Like there's some college students a few years ago. They did like a research thing where they got like I don't know hundreds of people together to play paper scissors stones. I'm sure you've heard about this paper. right?
Yeah, I hear about
So
it.
they found that there is a slight strategy when you play like a tournament of it. So when if we play the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then now there's that second meta of like, what do we do next? And they said that if you choose what loses to this, there is a slight possibility that you could win. Because people tend to go like, oh, rock. Well, then what beats rock is paper tends to be next. Like there's a slight higher probability of that. So if we tie on rock, if you choose what loses, there's an increased probability that you might win.
Yep.
I did that for all of these. Every time we tied, I followed that exact strategy.
Come on.
Oh man.
Come on.
I did. Science, baby. Yeah, science. That was good. That was a good game.
No, that was a good one. That was a good example.
I really love this game because of that, because of those tense moments of like, it's just, and it's a fun, silly, quick game.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to take it too seriously, but like you get these nice, fun, tense moments. And to me, like a good game is one that creates memorable moments.
Yep.
And I think this game does that. So you did a really good job.
Yeah, our team did a good job. I'm just helping whatever.
No, you can tell Anthony that it's all you. You tell Anthony, it's all me.
No, he's their job.
But yeah, I really love the artwork that y'all went with. I think this is a really good, clever choice of artwork for the game.
It's the same artist from the Animals Gathering too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
You make Coco, right? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Coco.
Ah, you will figure out.
Okay. No, I'm thinking to myself like, because if I were, she must have gotten a lot of hot cocoa jokes, right?
No, maybe not in Taiwan.
Maybe not in Taiwan.
Maybe not in Taiwan. Yeah.
Because in Taiwan they don't say hot; they say spicy.
Oh, yeah. In Chinese.
In Chinese,
Yeah. La.
Do they say that in the mainland?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't know about those guys.
I don't know.
All right. Well, Lenny, tell us about Loco Momo.
Yeah, I will just go through Loco Momo. So Loco Momo is actually published in I believe it's 2021.
2021.
Yeah. And then
That's when we first met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we met at Moonlight in.
That's 2020. Oh, I mean, like the game is published in 2020 and then get licensed by the French publisher.
Oh, okay.
It's called Plan, and then they take care of the worldwide license. So the French version is coming out on like 2021, and then I hear like a lot of people because I'm pretty sure like there's something happens. So like there's a lot of people are looking for the game but doesn't able to get it. And then this time we really thanks to our partner Raon. They sending like 60 copy to us, so we will be able to sell in the Essence. Yeah. So so in this game, it's called Local Momo. What we're trying to do is we're trying to help these animals. Oh yeah, you okay.
Yeah, we open it. You can talk. You can talk.
Okay. We're trying to help these animals to take a good pictures. So yeah, it's kind of fun, but it's kind of sweet too, I would say. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to use this animal. They have this spatial movement, and then we use them to try to find their friends to every player's board. So everyone have a player's board, and then the player's board is going to look like a camera. So after 6 rounds, the game ends, and then the highest point will win the game. So what we're trying to do is we use the animal to move and find their friend, go to the player board. There are different ways to score the points. That's pretty much that's it. The game is really simple. You can learn in maybe like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and then it's a really nice, easy 20 minutes to 30 minutes friendly game.
I gotta ask you a quick question though. Like I don't see them here, but you did something that I don't think any other publisher I know has done, and that's like these little gift cards.
Oh yeah.
So like it's a deck of cards, and when someone wins, I think like how many cards came with the original?
So the original it come with like 50 cards.
50 cards. So they had 50 cards, and depending on what your score was, you would get a different animal. So like if you won the game with like 30 points, you might get a bunny. I think it's like 50 points, you get the big black bear, and then you're supposed to take that card and give it to one of the players forever. Yep. And they take it and they can take it home and do whatever they want. Why did you do that? I've never seen a publisher do that before. Why did you want to do it?
So that only happened in Taiwan version. So in the international version we don't have that.
Okay.
The reason we are doing this because just like what you say the great game for you is the game like you can remember.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is like we don't really want people really focus on competition a lot. So like we figure out a way, like just like Jay said, every card there's a range of the score. So everyone get a award. So even you do maybe not well in the game, you still get award.
Oh, really? I thought it was just for the winner. I was so mean.
We give to everyone. Yeah, sorry, we give to everyone. So we just want people to feel like, hey, you guys been through a good memory, good experience, and then maybe someday in the future when you see the car, you will remember this.
Yeah, because that's what happened. I put the big black bear on my fridge.
Okay.
And then when we moved, I got rid of the bear. But the but the every time I saw that bear, I thought of the game. I thought about like meeting you, and I thought about how interesting of an idea I thought that was.
Yeah. Because
no one really does that, and to me like it didn't really come apparent to me until I was culling like this whole collection about like games or boxes of memories.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at these games, I don't think of
what's inside or what's.
It's not, my first thought is like experiences that I had playing that game.
Yeah.
Like my friends that played it. Like when I see Judge Domino here, I don't think of the game first. I think of the time where I invited some friends over and we played all 5 games and we filmed it and shot it together like in a day. And like I think of that, and that was a lot of fun. That's a really good memory for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I mean, like, we also get some feedback about they feel it's kind of weird to paying extra.
Yeah,
they feel like they're paying extra, and then this is not really working in the game mechanics. So yeah, maybe the best way to do is we can bring some to the Essen, and then we do the promo card, something like this.
Or you could just like sell like a deck of cards.
Yeah, something like this. So people who enjoy it, they can get it or they can buy it.
Yeah. You need to give more, people. You gotta give to the people. Don't just hoard things up for yourself. All right, and these are these games here. I'll put them over here to the side. Do you want to tell us about Dugu Wei's Animal Gathering?
Yeah, I've been talking about this game like hundreds of times. So yeah. So in Animals Gathering, what we're trying to do is we're trying to, if you can see right here, you can see like in the middle part, there's a lot of like the crystal pieces. I can show you from the inside.
The insert's really impressive, man. Like this insert is really impressive, I think. Like I really like how there's a two-layered insert. I'm sure other games have done this, but I don't see it that often here in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And how like the lid for this is its own tray. I think that's kind of neat. There's a little bit of chaos here, Lenny.
Yeah.
What happened here, Lenny?
It's not 100% fit. So if you store it like this horizontal way, you are good. But if you do it like the vertical way, sometimes it creates the chaos.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So you have lots of these little crystal
like the
pieces.
crystal pieces, I say. So what we're trying to do is you can see this animal shape of, on the cards. We're trying to use the crystal pieces to fulfill the shape. Once you get fulfilled, you get the score, you get a power. And then whoever finish 5 cards, call the game, highest score, win the game. And then in this game, it's a 2-5 family games. The game is really simple. On your turn, you only have 2 actions. Choose one to do. You either take the card from the river to join your section, so later on you can fulfill the card, or you can roll the dice. When you roll the dice, there are 3 different colors of the dice. So different color give you different ratio. So for example, if you want to roll the hexagon, you have to roll the blue dice. And then something about this game is when you roll the dice, for example, it's something like this.
Mhm.
If you be able to use that shape, you can take the tokens. And then if you are not able to use it, for example, maybe we got a hexagon where we only have this one. So this doesn't fit. So this shape give to all other players. When I mean all other players, I mean every players in the game. As long as they can use the hexagon to put in their cards, they can take it. So the interaction in this game is really, really strong.
Yeah, I love these big cards. I love how big they are, and I love how colorful the card gets. Like I love like some things I kind of harp on a lot is that how I feel like a lot of board games can be over developed, especially like for artwork. Like there's just too much noise.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
So this is nice and clear, but it doesn't have to be beige, right? It's this nice wash of green, but then you have all these splashes of color that you get from the crystals that you put on here, and it really, 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 really pops. And like I like that aspect that he did here with this design. But I remember when we played this. You also have like these special cards here that are optional
like
play,
for the advanced one. Yeah.
like for the advanced play. You have like the one-time use, like these big power cards. When I played one time, the game ends when you have like 5 animals, right? But my wife found this one very rare chain that had like 10 animals.
You told me about this.
She had 10 animals.
I didn't get to see it, so it doesn't count.
Has that ever been a problem for you? Like when you show this game?
I never seen someone doing that. I saw people do 6 the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we did is I think it's the holy or the animal resonance.
Oh, so
you reactivate
a lot of them.
and they had the cats, I think, because the cat allows you to draw cards.
To draw a card, and
then a lot of cards like this that allow you to pull pieces. So she was able to complete an animal, then draw another animal, and draw a whole bunch of pieces and complete it, and that triggered again. And then that chained a whole bunch of stuff. And then she's like, I'm running out of steam. What do I do? Animal resonance. Reactivate all the animals and just do it all again. I'm just sitting there like, I thought it was my turn. I thought it was my turn. I'm like, and then she just ended the game. It's like, yeah, I think I have 11 animals. So do you think I won? I'm like, let's go.
But yeah, the advanced role for the magic cards is kind of, it's about timing. So I really don't suggest people to play it on the first time.
Yeah.
But after you do play the first time, you can try it. Some of them, when you use it, you will change everything. Yeah. You will change the situations.
Quick tip is if you do play with the advanced rules, I recommend that you use it earlier than you think you should. Because the game can get to the end game really quickly because you only need 5 animals, right?
Yeah.
And some people tend to save these for those late game things to kind of nitro your way to the finish line. But I found that using this early on can help you set up that engine faster and then propel you more to the end of the game. You gotta nitro early, son.
It's quite important to build up the engine.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Is this your first time that you're going to Essen?
No, I've been there last year.
So how many times?
I was here too.
I know. I'm just asking. This is just for a conversation, dude. Like, how many times have you been now?
So this year will be my second time, and then yeah, I'm quite excited too, because like Essen is like the most international conventions, so you get to see a lot of friends from all around the world.
Okay.
Do you have fun?
I don't know.
You have
I've never
fun
had a hard time figuring it out. This is the only time that I've ever done it. I'm like, this is why can't I do this?
Yeah.
Is it your favorite convention to go to?
Oh my. Well, I think I should say yes, right?
No. I think it's fine. Like,
okay.
I think a lot of publishers are like in North America, because a lot of the viewers are from North America and from Europe. They tend to think like Essen is that big holy grail that you can go to.
Yeah.
But then like I talked to like some Asian publishers, and they're like, yeah, Essen is it's too far. Like the logistics is too costly, so it may not be worth for us financially to go.
Yeah.
Whereas like these conventions, the smaller conventions in Asia are like cheaper for us to fly to, and it's just a lot easier for us to go, and it's we can keep our margins like tighter.
Yeah. I will name three. I wouldn't say which one is my favorite, but I think Essen, Gen Con, and Tokyo Game Market. They three are like so far my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
So why do you like Essen?
Why do I like Essen? Just like I said, I get to meet a lot of people from around the world, and then so last year was my first time in Essen. I feel like I never feel the enthusiasm about like all the people in the Essen are so into the games.
Yeah,
and then everyone is there to having fun.
Yeah,
it's because for us we are kind of go to work, but we work in a good, fun,
that's true,
entertainment industries, and I feel like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you get to see like people from Korea, people from Japan, Russia, from Europe, from America, from everywhere.
Yeah,
and then everyone are being nice.
Yeah, I remember when I went in 2018 for the first time. I was shocked that like I met all these Asian publishers there in Essen, and I made that joke of like yeah, we traveled halfway around the world together to meet on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
But I remember like from that like a lot of publishers in Asia met for the first time, and then they'd go into each other's conventions a lot more, and there's a lot more momentum in the Asian board game industry because of that. Why do you like Gen Con?
So I just been to Gen Con last month, right? Yeah, last month.
Was it last month?
Yeah, this is now it's September, right?
So oh my gosh! Wow, time flies.
And then as a publisher, my answer is like I think everyone should go to Gen Con. It's a place for you to have a good sales, and then a place for you to meet a lot of, I would say, key person in the industry. I would say it this way.
Yeah, it allows you to build your network, right?
Yeah.
Really
and then there are so many things besides selling games. I don't get to play them, but I know like there are so many things you can do. Not just the board game. They do TRPG. They do like role playing. They do everything.
A lot of cosplay. Yeah,
they do everything.
I'll say out of those three conventions, like that one has the most cosplay.
Yeah, most.
Which you wouldn't expect, but they do. Yeah.
And then they also have the small like the video game part.
Yeah. So why do you like Game Market?
Oh, Game Market is just, I don't know. For me, so I went to Game Market in May, and then I wasn't have a booth, and then I doesn't have a pass to. So I'm the guy waiting in the line for like 2 hours to get in, and it was raining. I was like,
oh yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I had a pass. Press pass.
but once I get in the show, it was crazy. It was really crazy. You see so many like the indie designers.
Yeah, it's nothing but indie designers.
It's like
really crazy.
You know, like in some convention, you get a table and then you can show your booth, right?
Yeah,
just one single table and then you can show things. In Game Market, they use one table to do two publishers, two studios. And then it's just like so many things. So just imagine you can get to see like more than 20 or 30, like 200 or 300 new games, cool games, weird games.
Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah, it's nuts. For me, like one of the things that I liked about Game Market is how different it was from Gen Con and Essen. Because at Gen Con and Essen, if I sell out all of my games, I'm still there, like doing demos. I'm talking to people, going, "Hey, what's up?" But Game Market, if I sell out of my games, they're gone.
Yeah.
And then someone else comes and sits at the booth.
Yeah.
Like you can see like you can see Lenny like in the morning at the booth, and then in the afternoon you see Jay. You're like, oh, wait, I thought you were, and like it's a completely different publisher, and other cons don't do that.
Yeah, you know,
like it's just really shocking, and it has a different feeling too.
Yeah,
because you feel like it's more about the sense of being creative and an artist and just creating art for art.
And then you never get to finish the convention.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way. Yeah,
there's no way. There's just so much stuff. Like there was, I think that's one of the other things that I like about Game Market a little bit more than Gen Con and Essen was that when you see people's haul videos, like these are the games I bought at Gen Con, these are the games I bought at Essen. Like when you see those videos, pictures, they're almost always games that you've heard of. Like you just, like, I know all those games in that photo. I've heard about something. Yeah. Or like most of them. Like there's very rarely, oh yeah, I heard about that game. I don't know anything about it, but I heard about that. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in Game Market, there's like one game in every photo. You're like, what is that game? What is that game? That looks weird. Like what's going on there? Like I didn't see that.
Everyone like reading like maybe 10 or 15 games, and then there are always like different the game you don't get to see on the show.
I say, so which one did you find do you think is the best to attend to as just like as a gamer? Not as a publisher, but as a gamer.
As a gamer? I won't say Gen Con.
Gen Con?
I would say Gen Con, but I feel it's kind of not fair. Maybe there are still some part I didn't get explored in.
No, there's a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. Sure. And I think there's really no wrong answer. So what is your favorite convention as a publisher? Gen Con too.
I didn't into it, but yeah.
Okay, which one do you think had things laid out better? So like you had best access to bathrooms, everything just kind of flowed better. Best layout.
Best layout.
Because bathrooms are like sometimes the lines at Essen for the bathroom are crazy. You got to go to if you go to Hall 6. There's a unisex bathroom in the corner in the basement, and it kind of freaked me out there because I see some guys going into the bathroom. Like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go, and I'm washing my hands and I look up and there's a woman walking behind me. I'm like, whoa, am I in the wrong place? And like there's a woman washing her hands next to me. I'm like, whoa, am I in the wrong place? But then I kind of triggered. I'm like, oh, it's a unisex bathroom, and no one cares. And I'm like, this is how it should be. No one should care about this. We're all adults. Like, I've seen those before. It's no big deal, you know. Anyway, sorry.
For me,
which has the best layout?
I don't have the preference. I don't really get noticed about this. So
really,
yeah.
I don't know. I think the bathroom situation in Gen Con, from what I've been told, is kind of intense. I think Game Market's a little. There's one on every side, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to track across the side.
Right.
Like there's one on every side there. Food. What about food?
Food. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I just mentioned like I like sushi.
But there's no sushi at
Game Market. Yeah, sure. I also been to Origins.
Okay.
So I like the food around Origins.
Oh, because the mall's across the street.
Yeah, there's a market. There's a farmers market next to the convention.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Just been there every day. For the lunch, for the dinner.
So that supersedes all three, right?
Yeah.
But I heard like Gen Con has all the food trucks, no?
Yes, but I didn't, as a publisher, I didn't get to.
I see lines, right?
Yeah, lines.
Interesting. But which city did you think was the most fun as a publisher and as a gamer?
City?
Yeah, like Tokyo,
Tokyo,
Essen,
of course, Tokyo.
And Cincinnati?
Tokyo is a big city.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's a huge, big city. And then compared with like Essen and then Gen Con is like Indianapolis, right?
Yes.
So those are like kind of.
Yeah, it's hard to not let Tokyo win because that's an easy win for Tokyo.
Like Tokyo is like New York or something.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love circular.
So just compare San Fran with Indianapolis. I would
Okay,
say this
let's
way.
see here.
Yeah.
We have a few things here. I'm off the bed. Thanks. Hey there, can I make it? Rob German says Gen Con is great for all sorts of experience. You've played laser tag at Gen Con. You can do laser tag. That's a thing.
And then also escape room too.
What? I wonder if people are still there. I do want to make it to Tokyo Game Market. I've heard good things about UKGE. Have you been to UKGE?
Yeah, I've been to UKGE.
Okay. So how would you rank that in your ways? I'm an influencer. We rank things. Okay. I've ranked all my fingers.
I will put UKGE at the last one.
Really?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of fun things to do, but I have higher expectation for Birmingham.
Well, it's smaller. It's a smaller con than all three of those, right?
Yeah,
it's a smaller set of
smaller
those.
con. Yeah,
right. And
So-
it's like it's hard to compete against Game Market. All of you should go to Game Market. It's incredible experience.
Totally agree. And then you will figure out like how English is so useless.
It's if you do go and if you're a publisher and it's your first time, I highly recommend that you get a business card and you get like the hiragana or the katakana above or below your name.
Yeah.
So they can kind of pronounce your name. It's a little thing, but it's definitely worth investing in. It was so weird for me to go and see publishers and designers that I've known and I've chatted with online.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like long conversations with, and we get there and I'm like, hi,
Konnichiwa.
hello. It's nice to finally meet you. And cause like I don't speak Japanese, they don't speak English, and it's, but yeah, everyone's so nice and friendly there.
Yeah.
So many food trucks. Also did an escape room at Gen Con. Wow, that's crazy. All right, cool. So where do you see the roadmap for Wonderful World board games?
What do you mean?
What are your plans for the next year? Do you have any big games that you want to leak out now here on this channel?
I can't say anything. Sorry. But we were but we were
I gave you a cup of water.
But we were going to publish like 4 more games.
4 more games.
Yeah, next year.
Big games, small games.
One should be big. When I say big, maybe I still go with like 30 to 45 minutes. I was saying this.
Okay.
Yeah, like maybe something like this.
So one big one.
One big one, and then the rest will be like the small ones, something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll be sharing a booth at Essen with More Ideas.
More Ideas. Play with Us.
Play with Us Design.
BG Nations. And Miso Games.
And Miso Games. Oh yeah, Miso, right.
Yeah. Miso Games.
So there'll be a lot of publishers there.
Yes.
You're the only publisher out of that group that does like family-friendly games.
Should I say that? I don't know.
I think so. More Ideas focuses more on like gamer games.
Yeah.
Board Game Nations, like the Peely is not a
family game.
It's not a family game.
Yeah.
Like you're in this massive kung fu opera. There's no way that's a family game.
I think Play With Us has some.
No, Play With Us does have approachable games, but like Vita Moore's, I wouldn't classify this as a family game.
It's a social deduction.
It's a social deduction game, right? But that's something that you argue with, and like some of the other games you could play as family, but I don't see them. I see them more as like this artistic kind of oink style, trying to play different things.
Yes.
Style.
Other than that, we are the family game.
So your games are a little bit more approachable.
Yes.
Do the other publishers pick on you? Do they tease you and give you names? Give you Tsoha?
I need one. I really need one. I told you, seriously, because I hear so many like either the designer people saying that they have so many cool nicknames.
Really?
Give me one.
Give you one?
Yeah, give me one.
Lenny Lover. You got to give me some time. Don't put me in the spot there.
I wait for you.
Lenny Guh.
Lenny Guh? No, they don't understand Guh.
Guh means he's like older brother. So like Dugu Wei is like Dugu Guh.
Dugu Guh.
Guh is like brother Dugu. Yeah, Lenny Guh.
Yeah. See, you just mentioned Dugu Wei.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain to your audience about how cool is the Dugu Wei's name?
Why is it named? Cool.
You know Dugu?
Dugu, no?
Dugu is something from like the Chinese, like the Kung Fu novel.
Really? I didn't know this.
Like for me, I don't know. Maybe he named it in different purpose, but for me, I learned the Dugu this name. This is a last name also. So Dugu is something like he used the sword really really strong, and then he's kind of like I think there's something it's called Dugu Jian, something like this.
Okay.
It's a skill.
That's like a skill of the
It's
sword.
a skill, something like this. Dugu Wei for me is like, oh my god, something from ancient.
Wow, that's I can't. Well, I'll, if anyone has any ideas for nicknames for Lenny, we'll give you one. I don't know if I can come up with one on the spot here, but will you? I'm going to put you on the spot though. Will you mail me review copies?
Yeah,
cool. Even if I'm like in Alaska.
Yeah, of course. I will hand to you. I will visit you.
You'll visit me in Alaska. I don't know if I want to visit Alaska. I got an interview for a place in Alaska. I had an interview in a place in Alaska, and I remember logging into the interview, and I'm like, is this what I really want? Do I really want to be in Alaska?
Come on, you should be.
It's like all day is like sunlight, or all day is night. Like that's.
I hear that. Yeah.
That's. I don't know how I function. I'd turn to something weird.
You can think about you can play board game all day. How amazing it is.
I might not have anything else to do. Okay. I think we're out of time. But thank you, Lenny, for showing up.
Thank you, Jay, for doing the review for us.
No problem. I had a great time playing this with you. I had a great epic experience. Just to show you that great board game experiences can also come in little boxes.
Yep.
Thanks to everyone for watching. Once again, my name is Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with you. And I find publishers and introduce you. See you in the next video tomorrow.
See you.
I destroyed you in that game. I destroyed you.
Come on.